notice in the mail and don't know what to do? Then contact the law offices of Robert Goldstein today, because this is what we do. We work to stop IRS and state seizures for taxes you owe. We may be able to settle your tax debt for pennies on the dollar with an offer in compromise. We prepare past due returns, even if you have no records. We represent you before the IRS or state in an audit. I'm tax attorney Robert Goldstein, and my firm always offers a free consultation so we may openly discuss your legal options without any added pressure. We are a local firm with offices throughout the Bay Area. To schedule your free consultation, call us toll-free 1-888-TAX-EXIT. That's 888-TAX-EXIT. 888-TAX-EXIT, and make us your last stop.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and a chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV.
And I'm the girl from that alien movie you watch on demand. Our worlds have been brought together thanks to DirecTV Stream.
Why are you whispering?
Because the alien will hear us.
Maybe let the alien know you can get DirecTV Stream with no annual contract.
He seems pretty excited by that, actually.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at DirecTV.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device. Content varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
You're ready to get out and get moving. And whether it's surfing, playing tennis, or hiking every path you can find, you're going to need some essential new gear. Essentials that are even more rewarding with the Bank of America customized cash rewards credit card. You can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. The essentials have never felt more rewarding. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
It takes two vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast. Featuring Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky. Presented by Timeless Coffee. This is the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game.
The goal at the 1.
And run it with number 5 right here. Get all the blockers in front of him. Give him a chance to run it.
Going under center. It's on the roll. Can he get there? Big collision at the goal line. He didn't get in. Costello, the runner at third. Posey does have the green light. Hits that one hard into right field. That is way back and goodbye. Buster Posey. A 2-run blast. And the Giants are on the board first. And on the first pitch, Will Smith launches one a mile high to left field. And this one is gone. Will Smith. A booming home run for the Dodgers.
Oh, baby. Brian Anderson on a call for the NLDS between the Giants and Dodgers. Kevin Kugler on a call for Fox Sports. And that was the weekend that was. And what a weekend it was. We saw Bama go down, the number 1 team in the country. And we saw, as my laptop is on right now with the volume up, don't worry, Shasky, relax. Niners lose to the Cardinals 17-10. Giants are split right now with the Dodgers. Game 3 tonight at Dodger Stadium, 6:37 p.m. Max Scherzer on the mound for the Dodgers. Alex Wood on the mound for the Giants. It's going down today. It's been a monster weekend in the Bay Area. Fleet Week, everything. So good morning to everybody out there on the roadways. Good morning to everybody out there on YouTube and Twitch. Brought to you by Xfinity. You know this show's going to be explosive today here on a Monster Monday on 95.7 The Game. Good morning in Langford and Curly. And good morning to you, Mr. Joe Shasky III, a.k.a. The Butcher. It's good to see you because I didn't know if you were going to have a job after Friday. I thought you were gone. You walked out on me out the Embarcadero. I had no idea what you were doing. You left me, and you ended up at Oracle Park, and I'm thinking to myself, am I going to have a new co-host? What's going on? But you're back. You got that sweet sweater on, And what a weekend it was, Shasky.
It was a great sports weekend. And yes, like Trey Lance, I'm resilient, and I'm going to try to make plays where there is no play to be made. What a great sports weekend. 2 unbelievable games down at AT&T Park, Oracle. I'll always call it AT&T.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I'm just kind of victim to that. And we can get into the Giants. I'm super excited about tonight, Game 3. Alex Wood on the mound. Team's 12-1 after a loss when Alex Wood starts. This is a big one. This is his 33rd postseason appearance for Alex Wood, if you can believe that.
Biggest one of the season for him.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Buster Posey has entered what I call the Joe Montana zone in terms of most hits ever in San Francisco franchise postseason history. Just an unbelievable at-bat in the first inning to set the tone for the entire series. The Giants, we knew it wasn't gonna be easy. These two teams fought till the 162nd day of the entire season. Yeah. And it came down to the very end. And you thought the Giants were just going to sweep them? Like, no. You knew this was going to be difficult. I absolutely love everything about this.
Giants and foe, baby. Giants and foe. But not, you know what?
We'll get to that.
It's still available. We'll get to that.
I am so encouraged and so optimistic about what I saw from the young man Trey Lance yesterday. I rewatched it after taking a great night's sleep last night, watching Josh Allen just carve up the Kansas City Chiefs. Oof. And I say to myself, the Niners made the right pick. And everybody can come in and say, he's not refined. He doesn't know how to slide. Oh, my God, the tip passes. Everybody pump the brakes. I've got so much data and reference points from the history of the NFL to point to and say, Trey Lance not only had an unbelievable unveiling yesterday, but he's going to get better. The Niners are going to look good. And I was so encouraged by what I saw on the defensive side of the ball. The offensive line, the veterans, wide receivers on this team, let the young man down. He competed his ass off yesterday, and he showed me that he's got the heart of a champion, and he's got a lot of stuff that he's got to clean up. But, man, they got a special player under their watch right now. And, Bonte, it's a great time to be a Barry sports fan.
Great time, especially with the Warriors balling right now. They're undefeated in preseason. Moses Moody, the game slowing down for him. Jordan Poole continues to impress.
Yes.
I'm excited about the Warriors. They'll take on the Lakers in another preseason game down in L.A. tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m., so a lot to be excited for here. Trey Lance in his NFL starting debut. All right, starting debut. He's the 5th youngest to ever make a start in the NFL at the quarterback position. The 5th youngest all time, right? Trey Lance, 15-29, 192 yards passing, 1 interception, 16 carries, 89 yards. So first drive starts and he scrambles right away for a first down. Next play, he hits Kyle Juszczyk for a nice touch pass in the flat. And then he throws the pick, and he had options. He could have dumped it off to Ross Dwelley, could have ran it, throws it high, throws an interception. Okay, it happens. That was it. He got better and better as the game went along. He had 4 drop passes yesterday. The guy, he does need to learn how to slide. He took a lot of contact yesterday. But if that's the floor, if that is the floor, and you're going against an undefeated Arizona Cardinals team that has Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt on that defensive line. You got Isaiah Simmons roaming around. You got Marcus Golden roaming around. You got Budda Baker coming from free to strong all over the place. I'm telling you what. Am I disappointed he didn't start in the first week of the season? During the first week of the season? Absolutely. He should have started against Detroit. I'm sorry. But yesterday's performance Shasky, led me to believe that you can't go back to Jimmy Garoppolo. It's over. It's over for Jimmy G. It's a new era in San Francisco. You have a bye week to get ready for the Indianapolis Colts. And anybody who thinks that Shanahan should go back to Jimmy Garoppolo, why? Why should they go back to Jimmy Garoppolo? 888-957-9570. I don't think, Shasky, the Niners should go back to number 10. It's time to pass the torch. It's time to let Trey Lance grow with Brandon Aiyuk, Deebo Samuel, and the rest of this roster.
I mean, the kid yesterday showed so much moxie and toughness. I was so impressed with his feel in the pocket because, let's be honest, he was under duress the entire time. And I just...
Shout out Mike McGlinchey.
I want to dismiss the misnomers that are already starting when it comes to Trey Lance.
Which are what?
He throws too hard of a pass. Okay. Well, I charted all of the passes yesterday. I charted every single play for the 49ers on both sides of the ball. Now, he ran 10 designed quarterback
keepers.
Draws, sneaks, whatever you want to call them.
Powers,
right?
Yeah.
There was one, I couldn't tell if it was a scramble or a design run, and we'll let that float out into the abyss. And then 6 different scrambles. I mean, the kid has unbelievable athleticism, and I actually loved that they used his legs to get him comfortable. First play of the game, he drops back. We're going to throw the ball downfield, and he just scampers for 10, 11 yards. It's like,
easy.
Oh, man, this kid's an absolute thoroughbred.
What about at the goal line when they get the ball at the 5-yard line?
I thought that
4-yard line, first play, and he's like under duress, drops back to pass, and he said, oh, let me take off. He's pump faking 5 yards down the field, and he picks up another first down. The way he used his legs, again, he has to slide. You can't take that much contact.
Of course.
He'll get the bye week to clean some of that stuff up. But you know what? The scrambles, the guy, when you got that ability against a team like that, imagine if it was just I just want the fans to imagine if Jimmy Garoppolo was in that game yesterday. If Jimmy Garoppolo was in that game yesterday behind that offensive line, the game looks totally different. The game looks totally different, but go ahead, continue.
Well, no, I think you make a great point here because when you watch Jimmy Garoppolo play, the number one thing, he gets the ball out so quick. They were down with pre-snap and holding penalties in 1st and 20, 1st and 25, almost the entire second half. So all those checkdowns weren't going to do anything. You had to stretch the field and get vertical. And I'm just looking at rocket passes, where people say the kid throws too hard. Bonte, I have 5 touch passes from the kid and only 3 what I call rocket passes. 5. That's 2-1. Then I look at the bad passes that he threw. He had 3 bad passes behind guys high.
Right.
You know, the interception was one of them.
Yep.
Brandon Aiyuk on a 3rd down slant was another one, just to give you an example. But I had 6 smart plays. There's no play to be had, but can you make a play out of nothing? 6 of those. The kid, 2-1, was making good decisions to bad decisions. I saw a kid who got better as the game went on, who showed diversity of throws, who showed an ability to make plays outside of structure, could deliver the ball within structure. Best throw of the game. 4th and 5 on an out pattern to Brandon Aiyuk, where only Brandon Aiyuk could catch it.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
Then he threw a 2nd and 25 rocket over the middle. You can see the skill. It pops off the television. He is so raw. There's so much to iron out. He's nowhere near a finished product. But the Niners made the right pick.
They made the right pick.
That is the most calming effect from yesterday's loss. It stinks that they lost. I love the kid's talent.
And I love his intelligence. Think about this drive in the 3rd quarter, right? And it's 3rd and 17.
Yes.
He understands that, hey, Kyle may go for it. And the Niners went for it a lot on 4th down yesterday. They were 1 for 5 on 4th down. He understands the 2-play sequence. Okay, let me get 13 here. Let me get 12 here to set up a 4th and 5. And that 3rd and 17 to Ross Dwelly, right? He hits Ross Dwelly. He gets about 12 back on that play. So then he sets up a 4th and 5, and he hits Mohamed Sanu with the beautiful out route, reads it, and he had to put a little steam on that. 2-play sequence, boom, you get the 1st down. So he understands down and distance. He's starting to understand that, hey, I don't need to get everything back at once. I can chip away here, chip away here. The young man is processing information. Just during the game, he's getting better. And you hear him after the game saying, you know what, we got to do better. But I love the way this football team moved the football. They moved it yesterday. Penalties derailed them, 7 for 60 yards. The interception, of course, halted one drive. The 4th down play calling, which we'll get to later in the show, that halted them as well at the goal line. Juszczyk going under center, hitting the quarterback sneak. On the 4th and really 2, not really 1. It was a 4th and long 1. That's okay. You hung with the Arizona Cardinals, and you had a chance to win that football game with a 21-year-old making his first start against an undefeated team. Again, you can't go back to Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, and he's missing the best player on the team, George Kittle. I mean,
thank you.
Call it what it was. And that's a great defensive line that was out bloodthirsty yesterday. Bonte, you want to know why they lost yesterday's game? It wasn't number 5.
No.
It was these particular things. PI on 26, hold on 26, hold on 71, hold on 69, hold on 17, false start on 69, 71 and 69, holding on the same play. 82, a hold. And the 4 or 5 other penalties that were picked up off the ground because they declined them. The 49ers lost this game in the trenches because their offensive line their veteran offensive line committed rookie mistakes, not the rookie quarterback.
And Mike McGlinchey, his inability to get across on J.J. Watt a couple times. Mike McGlinchey is just, look, I'll say this. When Mike McGlinchey watches the film. If he hasn't watched it or watch it back, he's going to be saying to himself, I'm so fortunate that Trey Lance is a mobile quarterback. Mm-hmm. Because if that was Jimmy Garoppolo back there, he would have taken shots after shots after shots after shots. All right? Mike McGlinchey did not help his quarterback yesterday. Matter of fact, he should take Trey Lance out to dinner and say, look, I owe you one, buddy. I had J.J. Watt in your face all the time. Stop it. So, look, no George Kittle. Deebo Samuel's shackled up because if you're Arizona, you're saying to yourself, when? There's no number 85. They don't know how to get number 11 involved in the game plan. Let's go to number 19. Aiyuk, we'll get to Brandon Aiyuk. I think there's something fishy happening with him.
Yeah,
there really is. But I like the play he made yesterday. And take him off a punt return. The punt return situation with Brandon Aiyuk's not working out.
No, there's no doubt about it. And yesterday, I thought the defense played phenomenal. Just absolutely phenomenal.
What? Defense has been good for 4 games.
But look, they got blown through like a hot knife through butter on the first drive. I mean, they went right down. Anything they wanted. Arizona, anything they wanted on the edges, anything they wanted vertical, boom. They adjusted. DeMeco Ryans had a great game tactically yesterday. I loved what I saw. 3 different 3-and-outs from this 49er defense against the number 1 ranked offense. They held the highest scoring team in the league to 17 points.
Think about the last 2 games against Arizona. Going back to Robert Saleh being the defense coordinator, basically with the same system. They've held Arizona to 29 points in 8 quarters.
That's incredible.
I mean, and yesterday's performance was just, you saw Bosa, you saw Armstead, you saw DJ Jones. Fred Warner Jr. had a solid game. Look, this defense, you hold Arizona to 17 points, you should win that football game. The losses, all right, the Green Bay game, maybe that's a team loss, right? Defensively, situational defense, not good. Situational offense, not good. That's a team loss. But you look at Seattle, and you look at yesterday's game against Arizona. This is on the offense. The last 2 losses are on the offense. Shanahan, the game planning, the quarterback play, especially against Seattle. The quarterback play with Jimmy Garoppolo is just atrocious. The running game, where is it at? The running game hasn't hit really this season. So, defensively, you can say nothing wrong about him. Sure, a couple PIs, a couple missed tackles, but the bottom line is in today's league with so many offensive numbers and so many with the league catered to being offensively explosive, defensively, you can't be mad at it.
No, I thought they played their hearts out, and I thought Fred Warner was outstanding. I thought Nick Bosa, second half, was way better than he was in the first half. I loved everything I saw from him. Bonte, they lost this game on the offensive line. I referenced all of the holding penalties. How many tackle for losses were there? I mean, there were a couple really nice Elijah Mitchell runs for like 4 yards, and he broke about 5 tackles, and 2 of them in the backfield. I look at the 3 tip passes. One of them, he's getting cracked as he's throwing Trey Lance. Brunskill got blown up on 2 of them. Just blown up at the point of attack. This game was lost on the offensive line.
Not only that, but also 4th down play calling.
No doubt. I don't want to take anything away. I agree with that.
The decisions on first.
I agree with that.
I don't have a problem with Kyle Shanahan saying, you know what? Screw it. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
Let's go for it. Because you look, there was a situation yesterday. The 3rd and 17, right? He hits Ross Dwelly, Trey Lance. And then you go for it on 4th and 5, right in the same area where the Niners had it against Philadelphia.
Yes.
When they had 4th and 5 at the 38, and Shanahan said, you know what? I'm going to punt it. Kyle Shanahan already trusts Trey Lance a lot more than he ever trusted Jimmy Garoppolo.
Cosign.
And that situation there told me that. You don't go for it in Philadelphia. You say, you know what? We're going to punt it. We're not even going to go for it in that area where it's like, do you punt? Do you go for the field goal? 55, maybe too long for Robbie Gould. Yesterday, that exact same situation presented itself in the early in the 3rd quarter. And what did Shanahan do? 3rd and 17, let's hit Trey Ross Dwelly for 12 yards. And then boom, let's go for it on 4th and 5.
And the in-game maturation for me was there. You saw, look at the interception. He comes creeping up in the pocket, which I love the way he stepped up in this pocket.
I do too.
And I love that he's looking to throw because so many quarterbacks, he's a run-first guy. He was running for his life, but by design, which I referenced to you earlier, they had 10 designed runs. Now, he had 6 scrambles, but one of them, everyone's like, run, kid.
Right.
I love that he was trying to rip it downfield because that play was open. He just soared that one. There's no escaping it. That's a bad throw by the kid. No doubt about it. But later on in the game, that same exact play presented itself, and he hits Deebo Samuel down the field. How about the one where he's scrambling to his right and does a Kaepernick-style throw, that one play that we always remember, Kaepernick throwing to Bolden. It looks like a shortstop in the hole. And Trey throws a dime to Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel was held under wraps yesterday. He made a big-time drop. Sanu makes a big-time
drops. Debo had 2 drops. So one on a quick slant.
Yes.
And then one at the goal line.
The one
on the goal line.
Footsteps.
Yeah. One on the goal line on a wide receiver screen, which he probably could have scored on, or at least got down to the 2-yard line.
And it was like 3rd and 13. He hits Sanu on a drive extender between the numbers.
That one bothered me.
Right between the numbers.
Look, we got all day. Well, we don't have all day. We're not going until 9 o'clock as a new lineup begins today. Langford already took it from 5 to 6. We'll take it from 6 to 9. Mark Willard will make his debut here at 95.7 The Game with Dan Dibley from 9 to 12. Steiny and Goo from 12 to 3. Damon and Ratto from 3 to 6. And then, of course, Matt Kolsky from 6 to 10. So we got an hour short. We have a shorter show today. We can't fit everything in, so your call is going to be important. We're going to get everything in here. The fact that we're wasting snaps, not weird, but the 49ers are wasting snaps on Mohamed Sanu and Travis Benjamin is a problem. When I look at the other sideline, I say, damn, DeAndre Hopkins, A.J. Green, Christian Kirk. They had Max Williams, tight end, poor guy, Rondale Moore. And I'm looking like, you can't even get Brandon Aiyuk going. And you got Mohamed Sanu and Travis Benjamin getting snaps.
Like it's 2016.
What the hell are we doing?
I don't know.
It's 2021.
I don't know.
These guys have no more juice left. What are you doing? What is going on with that? The wide receiver position under Kyle Shanahan has been a strange one. For some reason, and it's not even just Shanahan. It's been with the 49ers for the last 20 years. But I don't get it.
Well, and your backup tight end situation now needs to be prioritized.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, the reality is we love George Kittle. He's gotten hurt now 3 consecutive seasons, and that's a problem. And it has to be addressed. And Ross Dwelley is a good 3rd tight end. I'm not sure he's a number 2. And how many blocks did Charlie Warner miss yesterday on top of a pass he dropped?
I thought that was his strength coming out of Georgia.
And I don't think he has a strength.
And when you pay big money to George Kittle, this is why I think there was some hesitation on giving him in that contract. Thinking like, man, are you available? Can you stay healthy? George Kittle's going to be out until the early November, so we're going to get to your phone calls here on the other side. Armando Rainforest, stay on hold. We'll get you right after the break. A monster weekend in the Bay Area, a monster day coming up. Giants-Dodgers, Game 3 tonight at Dodger Stadium, 6:37 p.m. First pitch. It's going to be a late one, folks. Get the melatonin ready. You're going to be up for a while tonight as the Dodgers and Giants tangle. Mark Scherzer against Alex Wood, the former Dodger, and that's what's coming up in the game. Brought to you by Outdoor Supply Hardware.
Bring the kiddos to Outdoor Supply Hardware's free Franken Pumpkin Kids Craft event this Saturday, October.
income, even when you're not working. A plan that gives you the chance to grow your savings and create cash flow that lasts. Plus, you can start, stop, or adjust your plan at any time. Talk to us today so we can help you go from saving to living. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE, SIPC.
I need tech that leaves my hands free during my work day and my workout.
It's possible with Staples Connect.
I need tech for my home office that makes it easier to work from home.
Also possible because Staples Connect has the innovative tech and tools you need to take on the future of work. And now Apple AirPods Pro are only $199. You save $50. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 10/16, limit 2 while supplies last.
Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Deebo Samuel in the backfield. He gets it on the toss. Blockers in front. Samuel cuts it back inside the 5, breaks a tackle, and a 49er touchdown. 13-yard run for Deebo Samuel, and the 49ers are finally able to cash in.
Now, back to the Morning Roast, presented by Timeless Coffee with Bonte and Shasky.
Kevin Kugler on the call for Fox Sports alongside Mark Sanchez. Deebo Samuel with the touchdown right there, the rushing touchdown, a 13-yarder to cut Arizona's lead to 10-7. Niners weren't able to come all the way back. They lose 17-10 and lose their third straight game. Green Bay, Seattle, and now Arizona as they head into the bye week to try to right the ship. Take on the Colts when they come back on Sunday Night Football at Levi Stadium. Trey Lance, that was the story of the day. 16 carries, 89 yards, went 15-29, 192 passing yards, 1 interception, took 2 sacks there. But I was encouraged by the young man's performance. 888-957-9570. It's a simple question. After what you saw yesterday in Arizona, should the Niners go back to Jimmy Garoppolo? It's simple. From what you saw yesterday with Trey Lance, should Kyle Shanahan hand over the keys to Trey Lance? I think he should. What about you, Shasky?
Well, this is the counter that I would have to anybody that's out there saying, you got to go back to Jimmy Garoppolo. Why? Like, give me your reasoning why. Why? So you can maybe sneak into the playoffs? Maybe. I'm not 100% convinced that Jimmy gives the team a better chance to win than Trey Lance. I think they give you quite equally a similar chance, especially considering you have a lack of weapons right now.
Right.
Like Jimmy Garoppolo all of a sudden is going to be explosive throwing to Mohamed Sanu. I mean,
Mohamed Sanu.
With Mike McGlinchey blocking for him on the right side, he would have taken how many sacks yesterday? 6? 7?
You think he would have stretched the field with Travis Benjamin?
No, he would have been checking down like crazy, and they would have been sitting on it the entire time. Like, again, I think there's a lot of people out there that are watching football, that are writing about the game, talking about the game, that don't know what the hell they're watching. The problem is this, is that the NFL has changed. If you cannot move around and make plays, you cannot play quarterback.
No.
Tom Brady is the outlier in today's day and age. Name me a young, statuesque quarterback who's out here balling.
Mac Jones. He's playing well.
He's playing
I got to give him credit. Hey, came back against Houston.
I mean, Houston's one of the worst teams of all time.
But hey, I give Mike Jones credit. That's 2 weeks in a row.
David Mills actually outplayed him in that game.
In the first half.
I mean, a lot of the statistics are a lot better. Okay, Mac Jones, fine. You want to go Mac Jones?
One. Mac Jones, okay. You got to give him his propers. Got to give him his propers. Mac Jones was okay yesterday.
Trey Lance accounted for 288 yards of offense yesterday. I mean, he was the offense yesterday.
Look, I'm not saying the Niners should have drafted Mac Jones. I'm not saying that. You asked me to name one part. Mac Jones not playing bad. I watched a lot of that football game. He's not playing bad.
He's okay. Whatever. He's okay. And again, they're 2-3?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And come on. I mean, they haven't even won a home game yet. So I look at it this way. Jimmy Garoppolo gets you where? What? Where does he get you? One game closer to being the last team out in the playoffs? What does that do? This is all about getting ready to win a Super Bowl. This is not about... Jimmy is limited in terms of his ability to stay with the organization. For who? For what? This is about developing and getting the kid up to speed. What I saw yesterday was the kid did not get phased.
Nope.
And that was a huge step. He has to see multiple coverages. He needs to be able to play with his offensive linemen. I heard the argument, well, this offensive line just doesn't know how to block for the kid. Well, if that's the case, then Trey Lance needs to play the rest of the year because they need to be able to block for him in 2022 as well. They need to have more reps with this guy. Elijah Mitchell needs more reps. A rookie running back and my rookie quarterback need to be in sync.
Yep.
My rookie quarterback, who I traded 3 first-round draft picks, needs to be in lockstep with Deebo Samuel, a guy that I hope to be a pillar of this organization moving forward.
And Brandon Aiyuk.
What does going back to Jimmy Garoppolo serve?
I don't know. Let's go to Rainforest in Oakland. Rainforest in Oakland, what's happening? You're on a morning roast. You're on 95.7 The Game.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, man, I was talking to my friend this morning, and he's big on the Garoppolo train. Garoppolo wouldn't have thrown those wobbly passes. We're 30-0 with Garoppolo when he starts in a game. He needs to sit behind Garoppolo and learn. Look, the playing styles of Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo are so different that in order for Lance to be good,
exactly,
the only thing that Jimmy G has that Lance doesn't is experience. So we got to give Lance the experience. But he can't sit behind Jimmy G and learn because he has nothing to learn from Jimmy G.
Yeah.
The only thing he has to learn is from playing.
I hear you. Thanks, Rainforest.
Great, good call, Rainforest. Let's put the rat on the table, Guru. 2019 was Jimmy Garoppolo's outlier season.
Yep.
He played a full year. The statistics look good.
His only full year.
And everyone points to that, right? Everyone
His
points
only
to that.
full year.
Okay? I'm not even going to include 2018 where they went 1-2 under Jimmy Garoppolo starts. I'm just going to go the last 2 years, 2020 and 2021. And you want to say, he was hurt? Well, guess what? It doesn't matter. You're out there playing. In 2020 and 2021, Jimmy G is 5-5 with 12 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 5 fumbles lost. His completion percentage is down to 66%. It was up to almost 70 in 2019. He has 0 fourth-quarter comebacks. Yep. I repeat, he is a 500 quarterback the last 2 years.
Well, not only
and
that.
He turns the ball over as much as he scores touchdowns.
Yeah, 12 touchdown passes.
And 12.
Yeah, 12 and 12. That's not good. Let's go to Mondo in Fairfield. Mondo, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, what's going on, man? Good morning. I'm on my way to Dodger Stadium for Game 3.
Let's go.
Let's go. So Dodgers in 4.
Oh, here you go.
As much as I bleed white and blue, I bleed golden, red and gold as much as I do. And we got to just start Trey, man. It's Trey's time.
Exactly.
The only thing I don't trust, I just don't trust Baby Shanny. I'm not going to call him Shanahan. I'm calling him Baby Shanny because he has not graduated for his play calling. The last 2 games, his play calling has been atrocious. And I don't understand it. I understand going for 4th down. I have no problem with that. It's just a play call, man. It's just the plays that, even I played Madden last night, and the manager just gave me a better play than what he was calling out there. 4th down.
Thanks for the call.
So, I tweeted I tweeted about it yesterday.
Yeah.
Are we really sure Kyle could develop this guy?
Hey, Mondo.
I watched Josh Allen.
Mondo, have fun out there at Dodger Stadium. I still like Kyle, but it's a valid question. It's a valid question. And people may be ticked off about that because there's a lot of Shanahan truthers out there. I think Shanahan is a good coach, but right now he's soul searching. Right now he's soul searching with some of the play calling. I thought he could have put Trey to better. Here's my problem, Shasky, real quick before we hit the break, and we're gonna get to all the calls here. Mitch, Pat, Missy, Link. A couple weeks ago, Shanahan said that the backup quarterback needs to know the game plan. He needs to know the game plan for the starter. Trey's the backup. He's a number 2 quarterback. He needs to know the game plan. Okay, that's fine. So he needs to learn the same plays that Jimmy Garoppolo runs. Did yesterday's game plan look like a game plan that Jimmy Garoppolo has?
They were in the pistol with Deebo Samuel running around 5 yards behind the running back. That was a totally different offense than we're accustomed to. 10 quarterback design runs.
Exactly. So what's the deal here? Can he run Jimmy Garoppolo's playbook, or is it too complex for the young man right now? Or You're saying to hell with Jimmy Garoppolo's playbook. This playbook is better for Trey Lance. But either way, you're telling us something different here, Kyle Shanahan, and that's my issue here. The consistency in what you say and what you call on any given Sunday. There's no consistency right now from Kyle Shanahan.
I think at a podium, you're 100% correct. I actually liked yesterday's game plan. They were in a position to win that game with a rookie quarterback on the road who turned the ball over on the first possession of the game. Like, I know everyone's pissed off with the fourth down calls.
Were terrible,
I know,
Shasky.
I'm not here to defend those. I'm not. I love the aggressiveness. And look, this team was in a position to win the game. They just needed some of their veteran players to not make crucial drive-killing penalties and drops.
In 3 games, and hell, if you want to say the first half of the Packers game, that's 3.5 games. This offense has been underwhelming.
Well, the first half,
and that falls on Kyle Shanahan.
I think they've scored 7 points in the last 3 games in the first half.
Yes, they have.
That's
Green
bad.
Bay.
That's bad.
Actually, 14 points in the last 3 games.
Okay.
21 points in the last 4 games in the first half.
Wow.
21 points in 8 quarters. You had 7 in Philadelphia. You had 7 against Green Bay. You had 7 against Seattle. And you had 0 last night. That falls on the head coach who's, quote-unquote, an offensive genius.
There's Bonte. The results are the results. I would just say that a lot of these drives were stalled out by veteran players not executing. And as much as that is, yes, penalties fall on coaches. I expect my veteran guys like McGlinchey and Trent Williams and Brunskill and Sanu, I expect all these guys to step up. Heck, you even referenced 2 Debo drops. So I'm not taking it out of his culpability,
right.
But I think
Players
that other
make
people
plays.
also need to make plays.
Players got to make plays. And before we hit the break, I just want to play this. Kyle Shanahan yesterday on the quarterback situation.
No, nothing's changed. It was just one game. It was a tough loss right there, and I'm going to talk to our whole team tomorrow and think of how we can get our whole team better coming back from the bye.
Says nothing has changed with the quarterback situation. Basically, Jimmy is still the starter. Something tells me Shanahan's going to change his mind throughout the bye week. So more coming up here. 888-957-9570. If you're on hold, stay on hold. We'll get to you on the other side. Plus, we'll sprinkle in some Giants as they get ready for a big-time game number 3 at Dodger Stadium. Alex Wood versus Max Scherzer, 6:37 p.m. first pitch. Game number 3. The series is even at 1 game apiece. Cannot wait for that, as this segment was presented by Go to State Lumber as an essential service. Their lumber yards remain open from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Call 855-GSL-YARD or visit GoToStateLumber.com and download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game to get breaking news updates as well as links to the top interviews and best moments on the game. Powered by DuckDuckGo, privacy simplified. More coming up with Joe Shatsky the Butcher and Bonte Hill here on the Morning Roast.
Welcome to a Monster Monday on the new 95.7 The Game. We're talking Giants.
Third, Posey does have the green light. Hits that one hard into right field. That is way back and goodbye.
And Niners.
Deebo Samuel in the backfield. He gets it on the toss.
And Trey Lance did have room to operate, room to roam, stepped up in the pocket, had Ross Dwelly on the check down, or he could have just ran it for 10 yards, but instead tries to stretch the field to Travis Benjamin, throws high, and Budda Baker made it easy interception to give Arizona the football. They go down to score to take a 7-0 lead. As the Niners lose their third straight game, 17-10 to Arizona, they now have a bye, and they'll get ready for the Colts. And the big question is, what is Shanahan going to do at the quarterback position? Look, defensively, they look good. Elijah Mitchell ran the ball hard. I thought Trey Sermon, even though he had a small sample size yesterday, had a couple good carries. But overall, offensively, despite moving the football, they're not scoring enough points. 21 points in the last 4 first halves the Niners have scored. They struggled in Philadelphia. They struggled against Green Bay. They struggled against Seattle scoring points. And then yesterday they go into halftime with the big goose egg. What is going on offensively, especially early in the football games? I don't know. They're not getting it done.
Well, and this, what do you do coming out of this bye week? Do you play Trey? Do you play Jimmy Garoppolo? This thing that playing Trey Lance equates to waving the white flag, I categorically disagree with. Jimmy Garoppolo right now is actually throwing more interceptable passes, taking more sacks, and Trey Lance has been more effective and creating more yardage for the offense overall. I mean, he had 288 yards of offense yesterday for a team that was missing the best player on the team, George Kittle, and the offensive line did him no favors. He only took 2 sacks yesterday. That's a game Jimmy Garoppolo gets sacked, 3 times a half?
At least.
At least, right? So this thing that you're taking a step back with Trey Lance playing. No. This is about, I think, in 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, the kid can be infinitely better than where he is right now, and your offense as a whole can be lifted. Maybe there's a minute step back in the interim, but give this guy a couple of weeks to build some rapport with Deebo Samuel.
No doubt.
Give him some time to work with Elijah Mitchell, a rookie who's barely practiced the last couple of weeks.
One name you keep omitting, and a lot of people are wondering about this young man and why he's not involved more in the offense, and that's Brandon Aiyuk.
Okay.
Brandon Aiyuk. Why not grow with him as well?
I'm totally
Took it to 25 yesterday and makes a big-time play. Every time it feels like Aiyuk does get the ball in his hands, he makes something happen. Why is Brandon Aiyuk not getting enough touches? Why is he not getting enough chances in the passing game? Why is Mohamed Sanu playing? Move Brandon Aiyuk in the slot. Move this guy around. This guy's a talent. So far in the season, oh my gosh, this is depressing. It's 8 catches for 90 yards through 5 games. Let me repeat that. Brandon Aiyuk in his second year, folks, has 8 catches for 90 yards.
And what about Mohamed Sanu? How many targets does he have? I feel like he's got more targets than
Brandon Aiyuk has, hold up. He has 15 targets on the season. That's embarrassing.
He made a big-time play yesterday, too, it felt like.
15 targets. Guess how many Sanu has? 16 targets. 10 catches, 97 yards. Again, folks, Brandon Aiyuk, coming off a rookie season that a lot of people say, man, this is the best rookie season for a Niners receiver since Jerry Rice. The young man has 8 catches for 90 yards on the season. Can I get number 11 involved? Last year, Brandon Aiyuk had 96 targets. And he mostly played with Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard. 60 catches, 748 yards, 5 touchdowns. Now, there's this little narrative starting to float around coming from Santa Clara that, you know what, maybe Brandon Aiyuk ain't as good as we thought he was. Maybe those numbers are inflated because he was basically out there alone and somebody had to catch the football. I don't buy one bit of that. I don't buy it at all. There's some propaganda going on down there, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And Brandon Aiyuk is a special talent. The guy can catch. The guy makes plays when he has the ball in his hands. And yet he has 15 targets on the season and only 8 catches for 90 yards. Is that on the head coach? Is that on the player? This guy's a first-round talent. Get this guy the ball.
Where did the jet sweeps go? I'm asking out loud. Where? When I watch Rondale Moore, do they prioritize getting him the ball?
They get him the ball.
And
get Christian Kirk the ball.
No doubt.
They get DeAndre Hopkins the ball. You see Dallas yesterday? They throwing down the football field to CeeDee Lamb. You look at Minnesota, Justin Jefferson's getting. How about Cincinnati?
Well,
Looking at Jamar Chase.
I mean, he's a stud.
He's a stud. They prioritize getting this guy to football.
The only counter that I'm going to throw out there to you is that it does look like, naked eye, the wide receivers as a whole get very little separation. Now, all 22 people, the people that are studying the film, they can tell me whether my eye is telling me wrong or not. It just doesn't look like the 49ers are a team that right now is blowing DBs off the ball. And I also think that that's a function of the offense because when Jimmy Garoppolo is a quarterback, it feels like the routes are very predetermined and they're very predictable.
Right.
We will see as the year goes on if Trey plays, if they can kind of throw some different looks and different route combinations at teams. But there's no question about it. Something's going on with Aiyuk, and I can't put my finger on it. And it's, whether it's play calling, prioritization, personnel, whether it's the quarterback, he is not getting enough looks. For a guy that you invested a first-round draft pick, you can't deny that, look, when all the other receivers in that class are making plays, and the guy that you picked and the other guy that you took ahead of him in terms of Javon Kinlaw because you didn't take one of these other receivers, the two of them not studying out, you can't tell me they're not good enough because then that's a draft capital personnel problem. That's an identification of talent problem. And if you're telling me that the guy has a bad attitude or maybe he's not working hard enough, well, then I would counter with, what the hell are you doing in the scouting process to where you're not individually meeting these guys and getting a good feel for who they are? Did you not talk to Herm Edwards?
They talked a lot of
so you
John
can't
Lynch
have it
talked
both
to Herm
ways.
Edwards. Yeah.
What I'm saying is you can't have it both ways. You can't be frustrated with the player and also say he's not as good as we thought when you're the guys that traded up to go get him in the first round.
8 catches, 90 yards, and a touchdown.
It's just not good enough.
Mohamed Sanu has 16 targets and 10 catches.
I mean, but Kelvin Benjamin's out there. Kelvin Benjamin, whatever his name. Travis Benjamin's out there getting snaps. And I'm like, well, they need speed to get vertical. Come on, dog. Everybody in the league is drafting wide receivers in the 3rd and 4th round, and they can make the team. And the Niners are out here using the 2016 wide receiving core that was like bottom 25 in the league that year, and it's 2021? What are we doing?
Travis Benjamin and Mohamed Sanu. Brandon Aiyuk, 15 targets. Let's go to Missing Link. Missing Link, parts unknown. What's up, Missing Link? You're on the roast.
I say stay with Trey. He shows poise. He's not afraid. Garoppolo's a panic meister.
I am mad at that.
That's what.
Go ahead, Missing Link.
I think right now the Giants need to take some batting practice, and they need to give the outfielders some practice on throwing to the horrible throws later through.
Yeah, you got to hit the cutoff. I mean, I could hear my dad screaming and yelling.
Yeah, that was rough. Saturday night was rough for the Giants, and I thought Gosman pitched decently. I wanted 6 from him. Mm-hmm. It's Leon there, and we'll get to the Giants because I thought the top of the 6th inning was one of those save situations we discussed going into the playoffs. Save situation may happen in the 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th. That was a situation where you needed to keep that a 2-1 ball game. And Dominic Leon in that situation, look, he's been solid this year.
He's been really good this year.
But damn, I would have gone somewhere else. I got to go with my money guys who got me here. I may even have moved Camilo Duvall up like you did in the San Diego series and said, I'm using him in 5th or 6th inning. I get you want to save him for the 9th inning, but I may go Duvall. I may go Tony Watson. I may go Castro.
So I didn't know Watson was on the IL with a shoulder strain.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until Saturday night, which is a problem.
Exactly. I guess he didn't make the roster. Littell, I had a bigger issue with being on the roster in general. Leon, he did a lot of good things, especially in the last month. You can't deny it. The reality is that there's 2 sides to this. Mm-hmm. Bruce Bochy said, I used to like to give my guys who have no postseason experience opportunities early in a game, early in a series, so they can get that out of the way. The longer they have to wait, maybe the more pent-up anxiety that happens. The other part of this is you got to know your guys here. And I would have liked to see Tyler Rogers or even McGee in that slot. Even though you don't want to burn that card that early, it felt like that was the pivotal moment in that game. But I understand the data side of it where, hey, Leone's numbers against righties, against lefties in this situation, because the way they staggered their lineup, the Dodgers, it was really good. You couldn't go in one direction or the other. And that's a function of the players that they have. It was just tough. Littall, that was the white flag. I'm not going to crush that guy. That was the white flag. Yeah. And you knew Cody Bellinger was going to get hoppy.
You knew he was coming through.
It was a matter of time.
I knew he was coming through.
And
with
Will
that hit.
Smith was sitting on it. I think earlier on in the game, for me, Gosman was struggling. Felt like he righted the ship. He got the low, and everyone was bitching and complaining about the strike zone.
Yeah.
Here's the thing on the strike zone, and I'm not going against Angel Hernandez. I don't even want to hear the Angel Hernandez stuff because both teams suffered from a bad strike zone.
Yeah.
But when Gosman doesn't get the low strike, he's a guy that has to have the low strike.
Right.
When you take away the low strike, he keeps the ball up in the zone.
Right.
He gets hit. It's very simple for him.
And Julio Urias comes through with a big-time RBI single there in the top of the second inning to get the Dodgers a 1-0 lead. Mookie Betts follows it up. Dodgers lead 2-0. Now the Giants did cut it to 2-1. But you look there at the top of the sixth inning, Turner doubles to start the inning. All right? Trey Turner, that is.
Hey, Trey Turner had a fantastic defensive game.
Trey Turner is a baller.
He changed this game with defense early and in the middle parts of this game.
He's a baller. Justin Turner striking out. And then the big at-bat, bases loaded. Cody Bellinger up at the plate. Leon, you can't take him out because of the three-batter minimum. So you have a righty on lefty there, and Cody Bellinger comes through, and then A.J. Pollock hits another double, and it's 6-1 right away. So that's your ball game. That's your ball game. 888-957-9570. You are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco and Odyssey Station. Look, Gosman, did stick with Gosman there after the walk to Will Smith. Runners are first and second.
Well, do you pinch hit him in the inning before? I've seen a lot of people. I was trying to squeeze one more inning out of him. And my thought, and I'm okay with him not getting pinch hit for. Had the guy before him gotten on base, automatic pinch hit.
Yeah, I don't pitch hit for him there with no runners on base.
That's what I'm saying.
1 out. He's got to pitch the top of the sixth inning. I needed 6 for him.
Yes.
That was my key to it was like, give me 6. Give me 6 innings. I may have let Gosman see Chris Taylor. Because then you go up there, Leon comes in the game, and he walks Taylor.
Yeah.
You're in there to get Taylor out, and he walks Taylor. And walks kill you.
Yeah.
You walk the bases loaded, and then everybody's, he got squeezed. You know what? You got to get it out.
Well, here's
you know what you're dealing with Angel Hernandez.
I'm looking at the game cast. I'm sitting there in the stands, so it's tough for me to tell. It looked like the Gosman strike 3 on the at-bat before when he was batting was in the exact same location as the pitch that he missed. So I get being frustrated by that. I just hate bitching and complaining about strikes and balls because you could do that all game.
It works both ways.
Yes,
it works both
exactly.
ways. Let's go out to the line. We'll get back. Go ahead real quick.
Before you go, to me, the more egregious situation, and I get the platooning and the numbers and the data, batting rough in the leadoff spot. La Stella is the guy right now who needs to play every game of this series. I don't care what the numbers are. He gives me a good 5-6 professional pitch at bat. Donovan Solano is in a deep abyss. Donovan Solano is unplayable in this series. I need La Stella at the top of this order, batting in the leadoff hole. I get the data. It makes a ton of sense when you look up paper. The game is played by humans.
Right.
To me, La Stella has to play. Matchups be damned the rest of this series.
Well, he's going to play tonight with Max Scherzer on the mound for the L.A. Dodgers. 6:37 p.m. first pitch. Look. Max Scherzer has, and we'll get back to the Niners in just a second here, Max Scherzer has been touched up over his last 3 starts. And if you work that pitch count on Max Scherzer and get him out of that game in the 5th inning, I like my chances against the bullpen. Now, the Dodgers bullpen is really, really good. They're really, really freaking good. But you got to score early. The key to the series for me, if the Giants are going to win this series, is you got to do what you did Friday night. Friday night, Buster Posey, bottom of the first inning, 2-run homer. Now you put the pressure on the Dodgers. You're leading, and now you're comfortable. Logan Webb's able to relax. As we'll talk a little later about Logan Webb's start. He was dynamic.
He was
dynamic
one of the great
Friday
Giant
night.
starts I've ever seen.
No doubt about it. But early on Saturday, you just said, man, you got to get a lead here against Julio Urias. You got to get a lead here. And you let him get comfortable, and he was able to coast. And now Dave Roberts pulls him after 5, and now he can use him in a game 4 or 5 if he wants to. So now he's going to be rested here. But I'm looking at Max Scherzer. You got to somehow figure out a way to get to this guy.
Well, and you're talking about lineups and things. This feels like a good spot to play Duggar. Duggar, I think, needs to be out there. I need defense in this game. I need a little energy. Good things happen with this guy, Duggar. He's a great base runner. They just need a little bit of energy right now. Here's where I get worried about Scherzer. So
last 3 starts, he hasn't been good.
No,
at Colorado, September 23rd, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 5 runs. Against the Padres 6 days later, 5 in the third, 11 hits, 6 runs, gives up 2 homers, only strikes out 4. And, of course, that wild card game, he couldn't get through the 5th inning.
But this is where I get worried because this, it's about lineups, right, B? Longoria does not have a hit, let alone got on base in the 2 games.
He's got to get going.
His defense has been good. Chris Bryant, I think he had multiple hits on Friday night, didn't do much on Saturday. Wilmer Flores, been a little hit and miss. Let me give you the top 3 guys in terms of most at-bats against Scherzer. 19 for Longoria, he's batting 105. Bryant has 16 at-bats against Scherzer. He's batting 125. Flores, 17 at-bats against Scherzer. 0 hits.
Yeah.
He has no batting average. If these 3 guys are going to play, which I believe Longoria and Bryant should and will play, that's not good. That's a bad matchup. Now, are they due? I don't know. I really don't know. But I got to see it.
Here's my concern. Alex Wood on the mound for the Giants. This season, 0-2 against the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's not.
4.76 ERA. Yeah. In 17 innings pitched against the Dodgers this year, Alex Wood has given up 20 hits, 9 runs, and 5 home runs. He's given up 5 home runs in 17 innings against the Dodgers, and they're hitting .290 against Alex Wood. So you know what that means? This is where Johnny Cueto, to me, should have been on a postseason roster. This is a game where Alex Wood, the bullpen's going to be warming up by the 2nd inning.
Oh, it has to be.
Give me 3 and I'm done. Because you see the splits, 2nd time around the lineup and the 3rd time around the lineup, the on-base percentage for the opposing team goes up astronomically. You got to have somebody, whether it's DeSclafani, I don't know. You may have to go DeSclafani and Wood and platoon both these guys. I'm concerned about Alex Wood against this lineup of the Dodgers that now is feeling good. Mookie Betts has had a good series.
I know. It was what a throw, by the way. Wilmer Flores trying to run. I don't know why he's trying to run there.
Mookie Betts.
Wilmer, you're slow.
Mookie Betts been good at the plate and in the field. Trey Turner has been balling.
Trey Turner, I feel like on 3 different occasions, flipped an inning and the momentum immediately with an unbelievable play up the middle.
And now you got Bellinger and Chris Taylor filling themselves.
Yeah, I know.
They're feeling good. And Will Smith has killed the Giants all season.
All year.
It's a dangerous spot for Alex Wood and the Giants pitching staff.
It's a great point. As we do preview, let's reflect for just 1 second. First inning, Friday night. Logan Webb will get to. Buster Posey steps up and hits a 2-run bomb that was one of the sickest swings I've seen from a right-handed hitter. I mean, Giancarlo Stanton, I remember hitting one that way as a right-handed hitter. I can't remember too many other guys, and I'm sure that someone will come in on the text line and explain it to us. He had 3 hits on Saturday, and they flashed it on the board. He is the Giants' franchise leader in postseason hits. Here are the top 5 guys. Posey with 55, Sandoval, Pablo, with 53, Hunter Pence with 39, Frankie Frisch, who nobody ever knows, 37, and JT Snow with 32. The bigger thing that I'm getting at here is that Buster Posey is the Derek Jeter of the San Francisco Giants. He's the Joe Montana. Yeah. He's a damn legend. He's an absolute legend. What he did with that first swing, setting the tone Friday night, is one of the great sporting events I've ever been to in my life. And like a true franchise icon, like a superstar, he stepped up early in that game and shot the kill shot that this team needed, that crowd needed. Buster Posey, I've slept on how great he's been for the San Francisco Giants. And this back end of his career, this year specifically, has validated, in my mind, this guy is one of the all-time great baseball players we've ever seen. And he needs to be recognized and appreciated. And I feel guilty having slept on him the last few years. Now, his numbers have been down.
Right.
But this dude is as clutch and as big time as they come. And the way we talk about Derek Jeter, and I know the positions are very different because Jeter can play more because he's playing shortstop. The catcher spot's so demanding. He is their Derek Jeter. He is a winner. And you can't quantify all the things that he brings to the table in terms of helping this team win. The brains behind the plate, the framing on a couple of these strike threes.
When you talk about the behind the plate,
Come on, Bonte, he's outstanding.
You talk about the hits. Well, you bring this up.
It's a legend.
Yadier Molina has caught 8 shutouts in the postseason. 8. Yogi Berra has caught 7 shutouts in the postseason.
Yogi.
Yeah. All right, Yogi Berra played 75 postseason games. Yadier Molina has 75. played. Dude, Yadier Molina has played 102 postseason games. 102. Posey's played 55 postseason games. He's caught 13 shutouts.
I mean, come on.
He's caught 13 shutouts in 55 postseason games. So behind the backstop, at the dish, and really his bat in the postseason hasn't been great.
No, first home run since 2014.
Yeah, he hasn't been great. Postseason. I mean, we all remember the Cincinnati Grand Slam Game 5 off of Matt Latos in 2012. But behind the dish, think about that. 13 shutouts he's caught in 55 games for the Giants behind the backstop. Yadier with 102 games caught in the postseason, and he only has 8 shutouts here. Now, shutouts are hard, no doubt about it, but that getting Logan Webb and then Duvall there on a Friday night with Posey back there, he's been really, really good. And you got to think that another ring or another good 2 years solidifies him as a Hall of Famer.
Watching Logan Webb Friday night, it made me be reminded of Matt Cain, and I was like, Logan Webb is doing what Matt Cain did, but with run support and in the playoffs at an early part in his career. The first 5 years of Matt Cain's career, he started in 05, they weren't good. And he would get caned 2-1, he'd lose to the Padres, and someone would blow a save or not hold on to the lead, and they couldn't get any run support. That was a gutsy, all-time performance from the kid. In his first ever postseason start, the slide piece was working, the fastball, the splitter was working. He was in complete control, and I thought he could have went 9, but then they brought in the superstar youngster, and Duvall, kid's showtime. I mean, the kid is showtime.
He's a good player. He's a good player, no doubt about that. Logan Webb got that bulldog mentality like Matt Cain. Not as overpowering as Matt Cain, but he just gets outs.
He cruises.
He just gets outs. You know, Matt Cain would just plunk you with the fastball high and up. You know what I'm saying?
How many jam jobs from Logan Webb back to the pitcher?
Dude, I saw like 2 straight late in the game. It was like boom, boom. It was just, the Dodgers they were befuddled at the plate against Logan Webb, no doubt. They may have to go to him, depending on how today goes. See about Game 4. We'll see about Game 4.
In terms of first starts in a postseason, it had Lincecum vibes.
Well, Buster Posey said it too. Buster Posey said it after game. It reminded me of Timmy in 2010.
He was cruising.
So Pat and Mitch down hole. We'll get back to the 49ers here on the other side. Giants-Dodgers game number 3, first pitch, 6:37 p.m. Max Scherzer versus Alex Wood. Don't forget to download the Odyssey app and go to the homepage and look for the exclusive stations tab. There's something for everyone, and the list goes on and on and on. Alternative rock, classic hits, hip-hop, all that stuff. The new Odyssey exclusive station on the Odyssey app, brought to you in part by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar. What's coming up in the game, brought to you by Get Upside? Trey Lance. How'd you feel about him? We'll take your calls coming up here on the Morning Roast.
Have you seen the gas prices lately? You need the free Get Upside app that gets you cash back.
incredibly smooth shave, plus free shipping. After that, razors ship at regular price. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/boomer. That's dollarshaveclub.com/boomer. Dollar Shave Club. It's what dreams are shaved of. Welcome to the club.
With just one spray of Microban 24, your hard surfaces are sanitized for up to 24 hours. Touch after touch after touch.
So 6 hours from now?
Still sanitized.
12 hours?
Yep.
18 hours.
We're really doing this.
24 hours.
When used as directed, one spray of Microban keeps killing 99.9% of bacteria touch after touch for, up to 24 hours.
Wow.
Microban 24. The sanitizer 4 out of 5 doctors would use in their own homes. So why aren't you?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Center hits on the roll. Can he get there? Big collision at the goal line. He didn't get in.
Now, back to the morning roast, presented by Timeless Coffee with Bonte and Shasky.
That's the Fox broadcast yesterday. 49ers lose to the Cardinals. The kid's first start, Trey Lance. And that's a goal line play, 4th down. They run like a play action. Looks like Elijah Mitchell's open in the flat very quickly. Kid doesn't throw to him. It's a foot race to the corner, the pylon. Instead of going all the way to the edge and the boundary, he decides to cut back upfield. Isaiah Simmons meets him. I thought the tip of the ball crossed the end zone. I thought the referees had a very difficult day yesterday on both sides of the ball.
Nah, that wasn't a touch.
I thought it went in. Again, that's just the way I looked at it. It's tough to review that. But regardless, I love the heart from the kid. Loved everything about that. We can pick apart a lot of things. Does he need to, work on not staring down receivers? Of course. Does he need to work on the refinement of his throwing motion? Of course. Tom Brady is 44 years old. He's still working on the craft of throwing the actual football, the motion of throwing the football. Him and Aaron Rodgers were on the golf course this summer, and they were talking about how the two of them are constantly trying to tweak their throwing motion to make it more efficient, to make it better. Like, that is going to come with time. The kid played one game in college last year and was the youngest player in the NFL yesterday and had the youngest start, 5th youngest start since 1950 to play quarterback.
I don't want to bring the mood down because I feel really good about Trey Lance.
I feel so optimistic.
But I don't feel as good about Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. And I don't know who's in charge. I don't know who makes the final decisions. People say it's Shanahan. I don't know. But it is year 5 of Shanahan and Lynch. And their record now is 31-38.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have a first-round pick in 2022 or 2023. And this team doesn't look like it's headed to the playoffs. I just want to keep in mind that a lot of people have been fired having records like this. Again, I look back at Doug Peterson, Super Bowl, second round of the playoffs, wild card, missed the playoffs, fired. All right? I look at Vance Joseph in Denver a couple years, fired. A lot of guys have been fired. Anthony Lynn, one playoff appearance, second round, gets blown out by Brady. They lose a bunch of close games, fired. I'm not saying Lynch and Shanahan are on the hot seat, because they're not. Jay York is going to give these guys a couple years here. But something's got to change. It's a bottom line business, and I get it. You're working in a rookie quarterback. But this is why, Shasky, what I saw yesterday, and I kept thinking to myself, why wasn't he starting week 1? I've been yelling on these airwaves since we went down to training camp. What was it, August 3rd?
Mm-hmm.
August 3rd. I go down to training camp. We both go down to training camp. And we both said, Trey Lance is the best quarterback in Santa Clara. And I thought that after the preseason. I thought that in training camp. And I think that right now. Trey Lance is the better quarterback in Santa Clara and has been for over 2 months. And yet he doesn't start week 1? He should have been starting week 1. I bet you your record, you know what? I'll say this. Your record is probably 3-2 as opposed to 2-3 if Trey Lance starts week number 1.
I don't know how we would be able to quantify that. And that's
I'll
your
tell
opinion.
you how. I'll tell you how. because this guy makes plays.
Well,
he's a playmaker.
I agree.
He has a nose for the end zone. He gets the ball to his wide receivers. He stretches the football field. You are going to make plays with this young man. Plays, off-scripted. How many off-scripted plays did Justin Herbert make yesterday? How many off-scripted plays did Josh Allen make yesterday?
That's what the league is.
That's what the league is.
That's what the league is.
And that's what Trey Lance is.
Well, especially when you have the amount of elite defensive line play that you have all throughout the league. I mean, just look at Arizona specifically. J.J. Watt, he's going to the Hall of Fame. Chandler Jones, people may not think this, but you're looking at the top sack artist by the data over the last 4 years. That's how good he is. And if he continues on this trajectory, he's probably going to the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. And I know that, Chandler Jones. No. Look at the raw data. Look at how often he gets after the quarterback. Budda Baker makes plays in that secondary. Mm-hmm. That defense was coming to hunt yesterday. And Trey Lance, I thought, held his own. Now, I don't know about the record. I'm not sure where it would be. But, Bonte, there's a lot that people are going to say today. And you're going to hear this all day. He's not ready. He throws the ball too hard. He stares down his receivers. Well, I went back and I charted every single play from Trey Lance this morning. I looked at everything. He threw 3 rocket passes. And 2 of them, were bad passes. The Aiyuk one and the interception, just bad passes. But none of those, outside of the intercepted pass, should have been intercepted. He had 1 interceptable pass all game, all right? Smart plays. He had 6 or 7 smart plays. Evade the rush, throw downfield, make a play where there was none. Using his legs and also using his brain. And then the throwing, the actual throwing. He throws too hard. I see Kaepernick. No. I saw 5 different touch throws in this game. Touch throws where he let air underneath the ball and guided a guy down the field. 1 to Deebo Samuel, 1 to Juszczyk. The kid was making plays, and there weren't a lot of plays to be made out there yesterday. This defense was all over this offensive line, and the offensive line, the veterans on this team, Trent Williams, who had multiple holds, Mike McGlinchey, who had a false start and multiple holds. Him and Trent Williams had a hold on the exact same play, and Ross Dwelly put this team behind on down and distance over and over and over again in the second half. And the kid delivered on 2nd and 25, rifling passes down the field. So I know that the hot thing today is Jimmy Garoppolo gives them a better test. You're
Some
wrong.
people believe that.
You're categorically wrong.
That.
Trey Lance gave them 288 yards of offense yesterday, and the kid put him in a position to win. It was the veterans that let this team down yesterday.
I'm not saying Shanahan and Lynch are going to be fired. I'm not saying the 49ers should be fired. But this guy should have played from week number 1. And you can't tell me that Jimmy Garoppolo wins that football game yesterday. I don't think he does. But who's going to play versus the Colts? Is Shanahan going to go back to Jimmy? Here's what he said after the game.
I mean, the fact that he had a chance this week, that gives me a lot of hope coming back. I think anytime you're dealing with calves and things like that, you never know exactly how they're going to react. I think that was similar to with Kittle. I thought he was going to be all right a couple weeks ago, and now we're going on IR, so I don't want to speak too soon, but hopefully.
925 says if that was Jimmy Garoppolo yesterday, we would be destroying him. Yes, we would. He's an 8-year veteran. Trey Lance is a 21-year-old who hasn't played in a year and a half.
Yeah.
All right? Shasky, I'm going to set you up here for a second.
Because
I know you got some numbers here for historical context.
Yeah, these people are crazy.
925, you're not lying. If Jimmy Garoppolo went 15-29 for 192 yards and an interception, we would be destroying him because guess what? He wouldn't have 16 carries or 89 yards.
Yes.
He'd have 10 carries from -12 for being sacked. We would be destroying him. He's been in the league for 8 years. Trey Lance is 21 years old. He was the 5th youngest quarterback to ever make it start. 5th youngest.
Ever. All right, so just for some historical context yesterday, you referenced all the numbers. I mean, he had 288 yards of offense yesterday. Alex Smith at 21 years old, okay, 21 years old, who played all 3 years prior to that as a starter in college. His first ever game, 9 of 23, 74 yards, 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Okay, let me say that again.
Yeah.
Alex Smith, 9 of 23, 74 yards, 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Now, let me say, I was at that game at Candlestick Park.
Against?
Took my little brother against the Indianapolis Colts at Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning didn't have a great game that day. He didn't. But he was rolling with Kevin Barlow. And I don't even remember the receivers he had on
I'm
that football
glad
team.
I'm glad you bring up the personnel because that matters. Brandon Lloyd was on that team, who was the number one target that year. They didn't have weapons. They have Eric Johnson that year, but they had really no Hall of Fame weapons. So to be fair to Alex, that was like an expansion team.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I'm giving you the reference point, right? Here's another one. One of the greatest players who ever lived, Peyton Manning, the guy that he went up against in his rookie game ever, Alex Smith. But Peyton Manning's first ever game. 21 of 37, 300 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, 4 sacks. Oh, by the way, Alex Smith had 5 sacks in that first game.
Yeah. Who did Peyton play against? Did he play against the Dolphins?
Tom Brady.
His first start was against Tom Brady?
No, excuse me. Dan Marino.
Yeah, Dolphins.
Dolphins. And the Dolphins.
Yeah,
Sorry,
RCA Dome. Yeah.
Peyton Manning lost that game.
Yeah, I know.
Now, I want you to know, he had 3 Ring of Honor players on that team. Besides himself, he had Jeff Saturday, Marvin Harrison, and Marshall Faulk. Okay, 2 of those guys are in the Hall of Fame already. All right, 2 of those guys. Now, how about the guy that Trey Lance went up against today, Kyler Murray? What did he do in his first ever start? Okay, 300 yards in a tie game against the Detroit Lions, 29 of 54. 5 sacks, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Kyler was really good in that game.
Yeah.
He's the one outlier, but he dropped back 54 times in this game. All right? Now, Russell Wilson, another guy in their division, right? Kyler was 22, Peyton Manning's 22. Russ is 24 years old when he makes his NFL debut.
He had to sit out a year from transfer from NC State to go to Wisconsin. Go ahead.
Okay, he's 18 of 34 for 153 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 3 sacks. Okay? All of these guys are struggling. You referenced Tom Brady. Tom Brady's first ever game was against Peyton Manning. He goes 13 of 23, 160 yards, 1 sack, 1 yard rushing. Lamar Jackson, 150 yards passing, 117 running, 13 of 19. Josh Allen, 245 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions.
So what you're saying,
the point
Butch?
of what I'm getting at is everybody struggles as a rookie, and they're all 23, 24, 22 years old. This kid's 21 years old. And he went out there and gave them almost 300 yards of total offense. Yeah, he had the 1 interception. But my God, he's missing all his top targets.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Do you know what you're watching, people? The kid looked good yesterday. On the scale of I'm 21 years old, I played 1 football game last year. I haven't played an entire NFL game at any point in my life. George Kittle's out. My stud left tackle had a bad game. My right tackle was a turnstile the whole game. Deebo Samuel dropped a couple passes. I'm expecting him to come through. Mohamed Sanu. You had no running game and a rookie running back starting. What?
And here's the thing
what are people watching?
And here's the thing too. A lot of those rookie quarterbacks, even Ben Roethlisberger, who ended up going to the AFC Championship game as a rookie quarterback, it was very ball controlled, solid defense. Running game with the bus, and we're not gonna throw it just to throw it. We're gonna, like Ben Roethlisberger's rookie season, the most he threw that year was 31 times. Pass attempts. 31 pass attempts. Other than that, it was 22, 23, 24, 19, 18. So this is how rookie quarterbacks operate. You're not gonna just say, hey, go fling it. But I did want Kyle Shanahan to rip it open yesterday with the playbook. Go ahead and let it rip. And I thought he did for the most part. Just kind of open it up a little bit and throw it downfield.
He ripped a couple over the middle. Aiyuk, Dwelly, for example, and 1 to Debo. But the deep ball, he didn't do it until they were down 10 points, which I wanted to see them throw it a little early. But that's also a function of no separation from the wide receivers and the offensive line not giving them a clean pocket to deliver the ball from. On 3 of the tip balls, 2 of them, Brunskill got blown up.
Yep, and not only that, like I like the first down passing that they mixed in yesterday with Trey Lance to get him comfortable.
But it put him behind the sticks, and I agree with you.
At times it put him behind the sticks because of the holding calls.
Yes, exactly.
The holding calls, and that's not on Trey. Let's go to Mitch in New Jersey. Mitch, what's happening? You're on the morning roast here on 95.7 The Game.
Hi, guys. Good show.
Thank you.
Who says that Trey Lance has to be an all-pro in the first game?
Exactly.
He did pretty well. You know, he played kind of conservative. But it's a talent, and like I said, it was the coach's fault for not winning the Super Bowl. If they had run the ball, they had the back set too. I thought they were 2 or 3 deep. They were Brietta and the other guy that got hurt. And what they were going to say, I like the way to be thrown in, let them get experience. Maybe by the trade deadline, somebody will be looking forward to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. It's like 2 or 3 teams that have won a first round pick. you could get something for Jimmy.
You ain't getting no first-round pick, Mitch. That's for sure.
And nobody has.
I like it.
And Mitch, the big problem here is that there's just not a lot of financial flexibility on teams receiving Jimmy Garoppolo back. So they would have to. I don't even know if you can do this in NFL. You have to get creative with how much money you're willing to offset on a deal, something like that. Look, I mean, you look at the money spent right now. I mean, it would have been nice to be able to have some money to get yourself, and I don't even know who's available, but guard play, some cornerbacks. I mean, it would have been nice to have a little cap room to go get Stephon Gilmore. I mean, again, that's hindsight is 2020, and I get it, but I mean, geez Louise, we're out here playing a bunch of, like Josh Norman, God bless him. Why is Dion Lenore not playing, though?
He played okay.
I thought Mosley had a good game.
He played okay. The defense gave up 17 points.
Ponte,
they gave up 17 points.
They lead the NFL in defensive pass interferences
I know that.
and holds.
That's a problem.
They lead the NFL in defensive pass interferences.
But we knew the secondary was a problem.
I know.
We knew it once Jason Verrett got hurt and K.Y. Williams hasn't been out there. You just picked up Josh Norman off the street. You just picked up Drake Kirkpatrick off the street. Secondary is going to be a problem, but you know what? You gave up 17 points. Well, against Seattle, you had a short field there. You really played Seattle really, really well.
Yeah, no, and I'm with you. And I think there's a lot of frustration with Kyle Shanahan today, and I get that. My counter to that would be the ball control running game that they had, given all of the penalties and everything. I loved the game plan yesterday because it kept them in that game.
But you know
and
what?
It kept Kyler Murray off the field.
What happened in Elijah Mitchell in the second half?
No, I would like him to get more touches, but when you're 1st and 25 and 2nd and 25,
I hear you.
You take out the run game.
I hear you, but first down, sometimes maybe you need to mix in a little bit more running. I don't know. Look, I'm going to tell you right now.
He deserves more touches than what he got. I agree with you there.
I get that.
He ran hard.
Not everything is on Shanahan. But damn it, he ain't been good. Shanahan has had a rough year as a head coach.
I can't deny that.
Yeah, he has a rough year as a head coach. And a lot of people are saying this is year number 5. And we discussed this all last week, Shasky. And I'm telling you the perception here. When you have a coach who's in year number 5, how many coaches in the NFL get year 5 and only one postseason? Nobody cares about whether or not you took over the team as an expected team. Nobody cares that you went to the Super Bowl in 2019. What have you done for me lately, and what have you done overall? Well, the bottom line is you're 31-38. All right? The bottom line is you may be missing the playoffs for the 4th time in 5 years. There's not a lot of people who keep their jobs.
No, they're not.
Keep their jobs in the NFL. Name one. I can't think of one coach who's kept their job other than John Gruden. John Gruden, man, that's a different story.
Well, I think a lot of the why they got in this position was because they did what inept teams did for a long time. Fire people after one and done, which were the right moves, actually. I would argue were the right moves by Jed York because they were disasters.
It was bad hires, but the right move.
Bad organizations continue to have instability coaching. I look at Dan Campbell this morning. His team has lost every game. They're still a hard-fighting team.
Yeah.
I feel like he's actually better than I gave him credit for.
He is. And
even
he's
though
crying.
the numbers are telling me that team is putrid.
He cried up there yesterday.
I feel bad for him.
They lost 2 games. They're the only team to lose 2 games on 50-plus yard field goals at the buzzer as the time expired. They lost yesterday on a 54-yard field goal on a dude who was short on 49.
Yeah, but Bonte, I think the bigger point of this is this. You can argue about play calling and the record because they are what they are. When the play doesn't work on 4th down, it's obvious. Bad play call.
Yeah.
When your team is not winning, you're a losing team. That's obvious.
Yep.
Has he lost that locker room?
I don't think
he has.
I don't think so.
I don't think he has.
I don't think so. But you know what?
Are his play calls in sync the way he was 2 years ago? Not at all.
You know what, though?
I can't argue that.
You know what, though? He makes the personnel decisions. He's calling the plays, and your playmakers aren't getting the football.
Well, that's...
Brandon Aiyuk's not getting the football.
Debo still leads the league.
That falls on the quote-unquote offensive genius. Shanahan's playbook this year has been so damn predictable. Whether or not that's because of Jimmy Garoppolo, we shall see. But I'm telling you right now, if Shanahan goes back to Garoppolo, the heat is only going to get hotter for the young man. It's only going to get hotter for Kyle Shanahan. It is. I'm not saying he's going to be on the hot seat. Yeah. I'm not saying he's going to get fired. But the criticism is going to continue to rain down on Kyle Shanahan if he continues. And if he goes back to – here's the thing, Shasky. You just can't go back to Jimmy. All right? You can't go back to Jimmy.
Okay, I'm going to let you explain that in 1 second. You know, the third edition of Jerry Rice Unplugged is going to be on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube today. Jerry, like you'd never heard him before. Me and Jerry Rice sit down. Yes, the legend, the GOAT. Jerry Rice, who threw out the first pitch with Steve Young on Friday night. Jerry Rice Unplugged is brought to you by Golden State Lumber. Bonte, I want people to start lining it up. We're going to do the no huddle.
They're already lined up.
888-957-9570. Get in on the text line. Call us. I want to hear what your thoughts are. We got the Giants tonight. Huge game. Pivotal game 3 against the Dodgers. Teams that win game 3 when it's split win 72% of the time that series. But it's about Trey Lance this morning right now. And you were saying about Kyle Shanahan. I'll let you continue.
You can't go back to Jimmy Garoppolo. Why? Because the season, I'm not going to say the season is lost.
They're still in it.
They're still in it.
Even though they're the fourth place team this morning.
But are they a Super Bowl contender?
No, they look really far away.
All right, so play the kid. If you're far away, it's time to play the future. The future is now. The future is now. And you need this young man to build a rapport with Deebo Samuel.
Yes.
You need him to build a rapport with Brandon Aiyuk. I love the mesh point that he has with Elijah Mitchell, another rookie running back. He needs to grow with this football team, and he needs to play. He hasn't played in a year and a half. And from what we've seen from Jimmy Garoppolo, is it that much better than Trey Lance? That looked like a Jimmy, is it that much better?
I'll give you the stats. Stop talking about 2019, people. Let's just go the last 2 years, because that's what we have. 2020, 2021. Jimmy Garoppolo's 5-5 overall record, 12 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 5 lost fumbles. He's been sacked 17 times.
That's what I'm saying.
He has a lower completion percentage, 66, than his almost 70 in 2019, and he has 0 fourth-quarter comebacks.
Right.
0 fourth-quarter comebacks.
209, Jason Garrett, John Gruden, Marvin Lewis with Cincinnati. Marvin Lewis made the playoffs, but it's a great point. Jason Garrett, that's a great point, and Dallas suffered for that. They suffered a long time for keeping Jason Garrett around. They did. By the way, real quick, the NBA season is almost here. Get ready with the Ultimate Insider Season Preview 2021 NBA Edition, brought to you by Odyssey and the Locked On Podcast Network. Go in depth with dedicated shows for every NBA team, featuring local insights from Locked On and Odyssey insiders. Get team-by-team updates heading into the 2021 season. Whether your team is a contender, a lottery candidate, or a playoff hopeful, we've got the breakdown for you, featuring NBA insiders Chad Ford, Ryan McDonough, Brian Scalabrine, David Locke, and much, much more, plus local analysis from around the NBA. Get ready for the NBA season with the Ultimate Insider Season Preview 2021. Hear from former NBA executives, respected journalists, and local experts as they break down every team from throughout the league, from contenders to pretenders. It's all on the Odyssey app.
That's a long read. Bonte.
Yeah, I know. I see the pages.
Did you watch the kid last night, Josh Allen?
I loved what I saw from
Do you
Josh
know what
Allen.
his completion percentage was his rookie year?
55%.
55%. Now, league average is somewhere between 65 and 68%, depending on other starting quarterbacks, right? Like everybody, because everyone's throwing screens and whatnot. His first 2 seasons, he had a completion percentage of 58%, and then he saw a quantum leap forward. The point that I'm getting at is that quarterbacking at 21 years old is so damn hard. And you need the live bullet repetitions. You need to see the different schemes. You need to build a rapport. You know what Kyler Murray said to Mark Sanchez? If you could give advice to this young man, Trey Lance, what would that advice be? Kyler Murray said to Mark Sanchez, you're not out there alone. Other guys can make plays. And I'm looking at Kyler Murray's team, and they got DeAndre Hopkins, and they got A.J. Green, and Rondale Moore, and Christian Kirk, and James Conner, and Edmonds, and they're all making plays. And I'm looking at the 49ers, and I'm saying, yeah, you're not out there alone, but all the guys around you can't make a play. Right now, Mohamed Sanu drops the ball. Deebo drops 2. The 6 holes on the offensive line yesterday. Yeah, you got to make plays. It's the guys around him. He needs to continue to develop and play and see these repetitions, and they need to continue to build rapport so that they can get this thing to where the Bills are right now.
No doubt.
You're not going to do that with Jimmy. It's done.
No, it is done. I'm looking at Marvin Harrison. There's a lot of people saying, well, Marvin Harrison got leeway. Well, actually, not Marvin Harrison, Marvin Lewis. Excuse me, Marvin Lewis, Cincinnati Bengals head coach.
They made the playoffs a lot.
Yeah. His first 2 years, 8-8 with the Bengals.
Wow.
And the Bengals were the laughingstock of the league. 11-5, 8-8. All All right, then he dips down to 7-9, 4-11, goes 10-6, 4-12, then 9-7, 10-6, 11-5, 10-5, and 12-4.
And Carson,
with the 5 straight playoffs.
Didn't Carson Palmer just retire on him too?
Yeah. I mean,
after the knee injury,
just quit on the Bengals. It's like, but that was more of a contract dispute with the owner, Mike Brown, who is known to be a frugal owner. So 888-957-9570. It's time for No Huddle here on the Morning Roast. No Huddle. You know what it is. We're talking 49ers right now here on the Morning Roast.
We're running a no huddle. Line up your calls, and you have only 20 seconds. Go.
20 seconds or less, baby. 20 seconds or less. You know what it is. We'll get back to the Giants in their big game 3. But what did you think of the debut of Trey Lance? Caller number 1, go.
Yeah, the issue isn't that he had a pedestrian game yesterday. The issue is that we were talking about him being a starter from week 1. So he should be better by week 5.
All right, caller number 2. Don't know what that meant. Look, if he starts week 1, he's a lot better than yesterday. Go ahead. Sorry, caller number 2.
Yeah, I'm so furious with the coaching. You call 6-4. You go for it 6 times on 4th down, and you only convert 1. There was 3 times that we had points that could have been put on the board. We left money on the field, and that's why we lost. The coaching sucks.
All right, caller number 3. The offensive coaching sucked. DeMeco Ryans was good yesterday.
He dialed up a blitz for Hufanga on a 3rd down.
Did you see Hufanga on the edge there?
I love Hufanga.
Did you see him shut down Kyler Murray?
Hey, did you see pigs started to fly in that game? Dante Johnson made a play.
He did make a play.
Are you kidding me?
He did, man. He did force a big-time fumble there. DeMeco Ryans has been solid so far. A lot of heat coming towards him. DeMeco Ryans was good last week against Seattle, and he was good this week against Arizona.
In-game adjustments. Because that first drive, they sliced up the Niners. Mm-hmm. He adjusted, and they rattled Kyler Murray.
He made adjustments against Detroit. He made adjustments against Philadelphia. They slowed down the Green Bay Packers in the second half. And they played. DeMeco Ryans not the problem.
No.
He's not the problem at all.
No.
Let's go to caller number.
I'm with you on that.
Caller number 4. What's happening? Caller number 4, no huddle. 20 seconds or less.
All right. The problem is not Trey. Trey did not lose that game yesterday. Kyle Shanahan's play calling, clock management, and decision-making are the problem. He's the reason why the Niners don't have 6 rings, why Washington doesn't have 4 rings, and why Atlanta doesn't have their first ring.
Ooh, a lot of heat coming down on Kyle Shanahan. Is it fair to come down on Kyle Shanahan?
I thought he had a good game plan yesterday. They held on to the ball. They ran the rock. Look, if Jimmy Garoppolo's under center, they're not running the ball the way they did yesterday. Trey counted for 90 yards running. There were not a lot of lanes. There were probably 4 good runs from Elijah Mitchell. He got hit a lot in the backfield.
I mean, this guy's a run game, but this guy's a run game wizard. You got to know your personnel. You got to know what works.
It's a rookie starting, and you're missing George Kittle.
I get it.
And Brunskill and McGlinchey are bad. That right side of that offensive line, and Mac's he's been suspect.
He has been suspect.
He's been suspect, and I'm trying to be fair here.
Again, this is a product of the personnel decisions. You give Western Richburg big money to play center. A couple years later, he retires on you. All right? He retires on you. The right guard spot hasn't been good. McGlinchey hasn't been good. That's on the personnel. That's on the decision makers, which Kyle Shanahan is a part of. That's a problem. And then number 11, Brandon Aiyuk. How the hell does Brandon Aiyuk only have 8 catches for 90 yards this season? Through 5 games, Brandon Aiyuk has 8 catches for 90 yards and 1 touchdown. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And you're trotting out Travis Benjamin and Mohamed Sanu? Yeah, it's on Shanahan. He's getting his smoke today. I'm sorry.
888-957-957. They'll get in on No Huddle.
Caller number 5. Let's go.
Hey, man, why in the heck was there so many quarterback design runs, man? Like, you're going to get him hurt. You act like he was Cam Newton or something. You do that for him. He's 260 pounds. But man, like Elijah Mitchell and Trey Sermon, they didn't even get that many carries. That's ridiculous. Man, and I don't think, I think Trey Lance messed up on that goal line stop. He should have put his arm out.
Good call. Caller number 1, no huddle.
He's raw. He'll learn. He'll learn. And the design runs, I didn't love the up the middle ones, but they were working.
About on 3rd down there on the second drive there, then you go for it.
I know.
It's just
it was too far of a way to go for a 4th and 2.
Do not like the call. Do not like it. Caller number 1, no huddle.
Hey, good morning, guys. Two things that I saw yesterday. One, the defense seems like they're improving. They're playing better. That offensive line is terrible. I don't care who's behind that offensive line is going to get killed, whether it be even Kyler Murray. I don't care who it is. That offensive line, they definitely need to do something to replace McGlinchey. That was a terrible pick.
I mean, beat McGlinchey just for a second. They exercised his fifth-year option. I was screaming to the high heavens. What did I tell you before the season started?
Don't do it.
I said, give him a 2-year deal underneath whatever that fifth-year option is. He's going to make $10 million next year. That's going to be, I think, fourth highest paid player annually if they keep Garoppolo and they keep D Ford and they keep Armstead. That's not good. He does not look like a $10 million a year player. I'm sorry. He's a $5 million a year player.
Man, it's caller number 2. I got nothing on Mike McGlinchey, man. I got nothing. That was embarrassing.
Oh, but he put on weight this offseason.
Yeah, it hasn't helped. It hasn't helped in the run game.
Not good.
Hasn't helped in the pass game. Hasn't helped. Caller number 2. No huddle.
Is we on?
We on.
Oh, what's up, Trey and Shafty? Check this out, man. Don't worry about Youngblood, man. Youngblood gonna be all right, man. Like Shafty said, man, he ain't had no reps, man. Let Trey get some reps like all them other young cats did, and the Niners gonna be just fine, man. Stop worrying about things, man. We trying to do is smoking, man. Jimmy out there getting people whacked, man.
He ain't lying.
I'm so with him on Trey Lance. The kid showed so much moxie and heart.
Yeah.
The setting was like crazy. And the whole entire stadium is screaming and yelling. Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt are in the backfield on every single play. And he didn't back down. I thought he was the best athlete on the field for large portions of that game. He has to learn to play quarterback.
Yeah,
There's no doubt.
Again,
he's got a long way to go. No one's saying he's finished.
I just kept watching the game thinking, he should have been playing by week 1. He should have started the season as a quarterback. He really should have been.
That fourth down throw
to Mohamed Sanu.
Oh, my God. I thought it was Aiyuk, but maybe it was
4th to 5 on the out route.
Oh, my God. No one was making that play but him. That was one of the best Niner throws in years.
Caller number 3. Caller number 3, no huddle.
Hey, this is Rocky from below. Man, you got to blame the loss on Kyle. Kyle looks tired. He needs this bye came at the right time. He looks exhausted. He needs to talk to his dad, Mike Shanahan, get creative because he lost his creativity. The NFL has figured him out. He needs to self-scout, get some better plays. The kid looked good. The kid, Trey.
The kid did look good. The kid did look good.
And my counter to the Mike thing, God bless Mike, they need some outside influences. That's what they need. They need an influx of some outside ideas.
I agree. Caller
and that's
number 4.
not a knock. I think it's just by nature. When you've been doing the same thing for so long, they need an influx of new ideas from the outside.
Caller number 4.
Hey, for me, Kyle Shanahan, put your ego aside, hire an offensive coordinator, and stop putting people in your doghouse. Where's your second-round pick guard? He's not even there. Health scratch. Brandon Aiyuk's not getting enough catches. Come on, man.
Shanahan, he's the topic du jour here on the Morning Roast. Looking at Kyle Shanahan, the boy wonder, the offensive genius. Playbook looks a little predictable. And when you say a couple weeks ago, backup needs to know the game plan, he needs to know the playbook. He needs to know the playbook that the starter runs. You go out there and run an entirely different playbook. Although I like the playbook, what are you really doing here? Why are you lying to us? Stop lying. It's simple. Stop lying. Just be honest. Take cues from Steve Kerr. Take cues from Gabe Kapler. You haven't earned the right to be smug. You haven't. You've been to the postseason one time. And yet you're coaching like you got 2 Super Bowl rings on your finger. You don't. Your daddy does. You don't.
I didn't think I saw smug. I saw a guy that looked kind of defeated in the postgame. And not defeated in the sense like he's giving up, but just more exasperated. You know, when you hit a wall of frustration and you're just looking around and you're just like, I don't even know what to say. Like that's, look, they're in a tough spot, man. This is a transition year, but they're still not out of it.
No,
like I know
not.
they're the 4th place team in the NFC West.
They're not.
They can actually breathe some life, and that's where I'd say like the Trey thing is exciting to me because I think it can add new elements to this team. They're too mundane, and they need some new.
But is Jimmy going to be the starter when he comes back?
Not Mohamed Sanu. They need some new.
Some new. SOMENEW. Let's go to caller number 5 and then caller number 1. We'll wrap up No Huddle. Caller number 5, No Huddle.
Hey.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Sir from D.C.
What's up, baby?
What it looked like yesterday, Trey did good.
the offensive line was not in sync with Trey. They're not used to a mobile quarterback. Give them more reps. This team will be on fire. You know what I mean? It just give them some time. Give them some time.
I'm glad that you said that because that's something you're going to hear. This offensive line doesn't know how to block behind Trey Lance. Well, even more ammunition to play Trey Lance with this offensive line. If he doesn't play, okay, a couple of weeks, whatever it is, well, now you're going to go back to another learning curve for Trent Williams, McGlinchey, Brunskill, Tomlinson, and Mack. Like, if anything, if that's the case, and you're buying that argument, then he needs more repetitions with this offensive line. Because it looks like, is Jimmy going to be here next year?
No.
Okay. So you're going to go into another year without a lot of reps between him and that offensive
you gotta
line?
Play Trey.
How does that help him?
It's a no-brainer. How about this from Josh Dubow from the AP? 50 coaches have been with one team for at least parts of 5 seasons since the year 2000.
Uh-oh.
Kyle Shanahan has a 44.9 winning percentage, and he ranks as 46th out of 50. The only ones worse, Jay Gruden, Jeff Fisher, Jim Schwartz, and Doug Marrone.
That's a tough list.
Caller number 1, wrap up, no huddle.
Wow, that's a tough list.
Oh, boy. I'll read again after this caller.
Hey, what's up, guys? Am I on the air?
Oh, yeah.
You're here.
Oh, dude, wow, I've never been on the air before. Hey, what's up, guys? I listen to you guys every morning when I drive to work.
Thank you.
We was watching that game yesterday, and I was thinking about my kid. You know, my kid plays Little League, and whenever the ball's getting thrown and he's close to getting on base, he slides feet first.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I know Shanahan, whatever, is a dick, but Trey Lance, if he could slide feet first, I don't know if he ever played baseball.
He'll learn to slide. He'll learn to slide. That's the other thing. My favorite is everyone, oh my God, you can't run like this. Do people watch Josh Allen? Do people watch Lamar Jackson?
How about Josh Allen in that hurdle?
Do they watch Kyler Murray?
Oh, man.
All the great do they watch Russ? They're all running around. The statue quarterbacks are few and far between.
Right.
They're all running, Bonte. Joe Burrow, who can't really move as well as these other guys, he's moving around like crazy. Do people know what they're watching? Justin Herbert? Is Justin Herbert a statue or an athlete?
He's an athlete who's making plays. Again, 50 coaches have been with one team for at least parts of 5 seasons.
I have
since
no
the
counter.
year 2000. Kyle Shanahan is 46th on that list with a 44.9 winning percentage. 46th. Only ones worse, Jay Gruden, Jeff Fisher, Jim Schwartz, and Doug Marrone. Yet Shanahan, his seat's not even lukewarm.
Well, have any of those coaches been to a Super Bowl?
Jeff Fisher did.
It's right, with the Titans. Okay.
Jeff Fisher did. Jay Gruden, Doug Marrone, AFC Championship, that's about it.
I think Shanahan has more, outside of Fisher, more combined playoff wins than all those other guys combined, correct?
Doug Marrone had 2.
He had 2 with Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, boy. 888-957-9570.
I love how that just stopped you in your tracks.
I'm just saying. Shanahan deserves criticism. He deserves a heat. I'm going to say that right here and now. People could be pissed off about it, but he deserves a heat. Because, one, he mismanaged his quarterback situation from the get-go. What we saw in training camp and what we saw in practice, Trey Lance was the better quarterback. And what you saw yesterday was probably Trey Lance at his worst. The young man will get a lot better. Now we'll talk some Giants. 888-957-9570. Give us a call here on the Morning Roast.
Welcome to a Monster Monday on the new 95.7 The Game.
Annual contract. Get your TV together at DirecTV.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device. Content varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
Hey, this is Damon Bruce, and you're listening to KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco and Odyssey Station.
It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast. Featuring Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky. Presented by Timeless Coffee. This is the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game.
Behind 3-0. Let's see if Posey has a green light here. Still the runner at third. Posey does have the green light. Hits that one hard into right field. That is way back and goodbye. Buster Posey. A 2-run blast. And the Giants are on the board first.
Oh, baby. That's how the series between the Giants and Dodgers started Friday night. As we welcome everybody to the 8 o'clock hour. Here in a new lineup on 95.7 The Game. Good morning to everybody out there on the roadways, YouTube, Twitch. Brought to you by Xfinity. Go get some Timeless Coffee. Timeless Coffee, the official partner of the morning roast. I got my Timeless. I got some tea right now. I have my coffee already. I like to get the tea going in the second hour. Good morning to Curly, Langford, and of course you, Joe Shasky, the Butcher. Giants-Dodgers, 1-1. Game 3 tonight down at Dodger Stadium, 6:37 first pitch. Max Scherzer versus Alex Wood. Whew, it's going to be a fun game. Trey Lance made his NFL starting debut yesterday. And, of course, Niners lose 17-10 to the Cardinals. They lose 3 in a row. But Trey Lance, how'd he look to you? You like him? Do you want to go back to Jimmy or nah? Jimmy or nah? Nah or Jimmy? You let me know. 888-957-9570. And, by the way, Trey Lance, the 4th most rushing yards in a starting debut. Lamar Jackson, Randall Cunningham, and Jalen Hurts, the only guys with more rushing yards in their debut.
Jalen Hurts, we'll see, but everybody else, I mean, that's pretty good company. You're talking about the Game 3 tonight for the San Francisco Giants. When a series is tied 1-1, a 5-game series in Major League Baseball, the Game 3 winner wins that series 72% of the time.
So that means Tampa Bay, the Rays, you're on a hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants, they got to win this game.
Big win by the White Sox last night.
Big win by the White Sox. Big win.
The season was on the line.
I know. You're going to get swept.
Yeah.
And the Braves and Brewers today, game number 3. In that series, that's been a very good series.
Yes.
Very good. These playoffs are really fascinating.
Yeah. I thought both Giants games were awesome. You know, the Friday night, let's go back to Friday night because it's hard to reflect because it feels so long ago. That was one of the greatest sporting events I've ever been to. And I'm not trying to be a prisoner of the moment. I've been very lucky, and you have been very lucky to go lots of games. World Series, obviously NBA Finals, NFL playoff games, NFC Championship games. I've been to almost
college football playoff games.
Yeah, you know, I've been to almost any kind of event you could think of. That felt like a World Series to me. And I know people are, whoa, it's an NLDS. No. I'm talking about the vibe in front of that stadium. Also with Chase Center having a preseason game down the street. There was just a vibe about the city, and seeing how the fans showed out and the noise, and then for the Giants to come out to that game and hit a home run early, and Logan Webb to deal all throughout that game. It was a special evening and a humongous win for this team. Game 2, the crowd was spectacular. But the Giants didn't give them a lot to cheer about. And so it maybe didn't translate to television. I thought Friday night, I don't know if people were watching on TV. B, you were there. It felt electric.
That was a very fun sporting event. Was it the top sporting event for me? No, but it was something historic. It was historic. You get Giants-Dodgers for the first time in an official postseason series, all right? You get Steve Young and Jerry Rice throwing the first pitch.
That was iconic.
You got Barry Bonds and Chris Mullin sitting next to each other in the front row.
Come on.
Then you got front row 40, E40 sitting right behind the plate.
Wearing the brightest orange beanie and construction shirt I've ever seen in my life.
You know who was sitting behind me?
Oh.
Maurice Hurst and Fred Warner Jr.
Oh.
Sitting right behind your boy.
Well, did you make the big screen?
I did not make the big screen, but you know what I did? I had my Trey Area hoodie on with a Giants cap.
Oh.
I was rocking Trey Area because I got to be different, but I wanted people to remember that Trey Lance was making his first start. Like, don't forget,
Did
folks.
you walk up to people in the hot dog line like,
No.
don't you forget, Trey Lance is starting this weekend.
But I had the door face wide open with the hoodie showing, and I looked at Fred Warner, turned around and said, hey, it's Trey time. And he gave me that, like, yup, it's time. Trey Area, baby, we got to do it for the Bay. I said, I like that. So Friday night was a lot of fun. It was just good vibes. Good vibes. It was rocking. When Buster Posey hit that home run, Oracle just sounds different. And I know AT&T Park, Oracle, I've gotten so accustomed to saying Oracle Park. It just hits different when Buster Posey comes through with a big hit. And then you get Crawford going solo, and you get Chris Bryant going solo.
How about that double play?
Oh.
How about that glove flip to the double play?
That was great.
I don't think people understand the degree of difficulty. The glove flip, there's no doubt. Degree of difficulty through the roof. the throw as you're running to turn your body like a quarterback running from a sack and just effortlessly make that throw. You know how many people throw a scud missile there, meaning an ankle breaker?
Right.
Do you know how many guys do that? Almost everyone does that. Crawford's ridiculous, dude. He is. Then his home run, place went nuts.
Yeah, center field, it went nuts. Chris Bryant's home run, it went nuts. And Chris Bryant's home run was special because he hits it, and you see Walker Buehler hit the Kershaw.
Oh, that was so good.
And he just bends over with his hands on his knees like, damn. Now, Max Scherzer here, over his last 3 starts, these have been big starts from Max Scherzer. Against the Padres, September 23rd, he got rocked. He got lit up. Gave up 6 runs in 5 innings. At Colorado, he got lit up. Didn't make it past 5. And then, of course, in a wild card game, Dave Roberts, although it was the right move, it was the perfect move for Dave Roberts in that wild card game against St. Louis, didn't make it through 5. So he has been getting touched up. He has been walking guys. He is vulnerable right now. But we go back to game number 1, and Logan Webb looked like the best pitcher of the series. I mean, he was dynamic. There have been 3 playoff outings ever from a San Francisco Giants pitcher with at least 7 2/3 innings pitched, no runs, and 10-plus strikeouts.
Wow.
We know about Tim Lincecum, Game 1, 2010 against the Braves. We know about Madison Bumgarner, 2014 wild card game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And then you enter Logan Webb, Game 1, 2021, NLDS against the Dodgers. 7 2/3 innings, no runs, and 10-plus strikeouts. Logan Webb, 24 years old, playoffs. You know what? He was born into this as a Giants fan up in Elk Grove. He was born into this. He wanted the ball, and he looked cool, calm, and relaxed on the mound Friday night against the Dodgers.
It felt like to me, not only did they suppress opportunities for the Dodgers, but they made the most of their opportunities, obviously Buster cashing in. The next day against Urias was on the ropes early in that game. And it felt like they were getting good swings, long at-bats, and they just couldn't, cash in anything. And I knew, okay, the longer that this goes on, you're going to allow Urias to set in, and he did, and he settled down. And then conversely, it felt like the runners left on base by the Giants were cashed in by the Dodgers because they had so many opportunities against Gausman. It was just a matter of time before Bellinger was going to get hot. Urias with the big hit. I mean, when the pitcher gets a hit against you,
scored it up.
I mean, it's very demoralizing. The moment in the game that to me felt like the big momentum shifter was Flores getting thrown out at third base.
No doubt.
That just, why? And Flores, God bless him, you're not a fast runner. Where are you going to go there? Just stay. We're starting to get a rally. They got to cash in early today. That's my number one thing. Keep Mookie Betts off the bases and cash in any early opportunities that you can get.
That's what scares me here with Alex Wood. 0-2 against the Dodgers this season. 17 innings pitched. He's given up 20 hits and 9 earned runs and 5 bombs. 4.76 ERA, 0-2. The Dodgers are batting .290 against Alex Wood. So what's the game plan for Gabe Kapler? Is it we hope to get 3 innings and go to the pen? Because this is and I get it, Johnny Cueto, we don't know where he's at right now. Boy, it'd be nice to have a glue guy. Is it a Alex Wood and Anthony DeSclafani tag team tonight? And then you go bullpen for Game 4 and you save Logan Webb for Game 5? How do you play this tonight with Alex Wood facing his former team? I don't like the matchup, Shasky. I really don't.
Yeah, you got to see how he looks. I mean, he's funky. He could go out there and give you 4 or 5 innings. He can go out and give you 1 or 2. Monty, you have to have a quick hook. There's no other way around it. If there's one silver lining, I've seen the bullpen now from the Dodgers outside of Jansen, and I'm not that impressed. Now, Gratterall throws hard. Joe Kelly throws really hard.
Knievel's pretty good.
He's got a filthy curveball. But Bickford,
well, he's not going to play. It was mop-up duty.
But my point being is that I'm not that impressed with them. I'm really not with their bullpen. I think that if you can get to that bullpen in the 5th or 6th inning, that's where they need to make some hay. I'm just looking at it from a Giants perspective, and I'm saying to myself, all right, they have great starting pitching, but the softer part for this team is that middle bullpen area. And so that's what I'm hoping to expose to them.
You know what, though? Joe Kelly's been really good. Blake Trina's been really good.
I thought they were on his 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, maybe.
They made some good swings on him.
Dodgers got the second-best bullpen in all of baseball.
No, it's good. There's no doubt about it. But it's not as good as their starting rotation.
No, I mean, when you have Scherzer, Buehler, Urias, I mean, it's kind of hard to match up to them.
But it's about familiarity, too. When you see the same guys over and over and over again, you start to develop tendencies. I feel like that's where we're at with Walker Buehler. He battled to even get into the 6th inning in that game on Friday night, and it feels like they figured something out with him. They barreled him up hard.
They did. Hopefully they don't have to face him again. Let's go to Anthony in San Jose. Anthony, what's going on? You're on our morning roast here on 95.7 The Game.
Good morning again, fellas. We back again. We need this game bad.
Yes, we do.
I've been listening to y'all since 14-15, back when Bonte was with G-Pop, back when I couldn't tell Shasky and JD apart. I thought they were the same person for the longest. So, I got to give y'all flowers because y'all had the whole Bay hyped for this game. Friday was amazing, special. Yeah. Like I said, I don't call the show much, but you two brothers had me hyped. I had to call in and rep for the Bay and the G-Man. I couldn't stand them trash toilet auger fans calling polluting our airwaves because we keep it sucker free out here. So Friday night was special. Moms came over to watch the game. As soon as she walked in, Posey smacks the home run into the cove. All I see is canoes out there. I didn't quite make it on to the cove with my canoe, but I was definitely smoking on that Dodger blue.
Let's go.
All I could think about was the show, man. It was crazy, man. It all came full circle. Thank you, guys. Bro.
No problem. Yeah. Thank you, Anthony. That means a lot. And Friday night was iconic. Friday morning was iconic. In case you missed it, about 9:12 in the morning, and really it started about 8:30. Shasky's just standing up, and he's moving around, and he's redder than that red light in front of the microphone. He's getting all antsy, and I'm like, dude, did you have too much coffee? He's all jittery. He's bouncing. He's like, I need to go out in the street. I need to leave. I'm like, what are you talking about? Leave the studio? What, you just going to lead a show? And Shasky left the show. He literally left the show at 9:12 and walked the streets of San Francisco. And so many people hit me up saying, I think I just saw Shasky walking down to Embarcadero with this big old flag. Now, he almost got hit 6 times, but fans were literally leaving their jobs to go see Shasky walking down Embarcadero, and the guy made it to Oracle Park by the end of the show. You could go find it on YouTube at 95.7 The Game. You find it on Twitch at 95.7 The Game. You can find it on our Twitter page at 95.7 The Game. Shasky literally left the show and was chanting, "Let's go Giants, beat LA" from 9:12 till about 10 o'clock. And I didn't see you till later that night at the game. I didn't see you. It's like, damn, I think you still got a job. I think you still have a job.
Of course I do. I mean, come on. I know how to butter my bread on the side. Come on, my friend.
So you did fire people up. And shout out to Hannah, who had that cool drawing.
Oh, yeah, that was really cool.
Waving the flag with your back turned. Really cool. That was pretty sweet with the UPS truck right there. That was
cool.
Fire.
Full disclosure here, your boy was exhausted. I felt like I blew both my hamstrings running around. I was very dehydrated. I tried to go home and sleep, but I was so damn fired up for that game. That was an incredible game. And then you and me and the whole crew went out.
Jason Dubas came out.
And we enjoyed ourselves. My cousin talked your ear off at the bar.
John Porter, let me tell you something real quick.
He's probably the longest storyteller of all time.
Let me tell you something about John Porter. This dude wants to give you every single detail of a story. I mean, I was starting to get ADD, dog. I'm like looking at my phone, I'm like, bro, you still got, like, hold on, it gets better. Like, wait a minute, you're not done with the story yet? We're at a bar. I'm already done with my tequila pineapple. Bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So let me ask you about the game on Saturday.
All right.
Kapler getting tons of criticism from the Giants fans. I am not outraged in one bit about Kapler. First off, this is how the playoffs go. It's pendulum one way, pendulum back the other way. Momentum's going to swing tremendously in a game like this, in a series like this, especially against a team that you went down to the wire with.
Right.
Every game was down to the wire all year. The series matchup down to the wire. The season down to the wire. And you expected it to be easy, Giants fans?
Yeah.
What team are you watching this year? Secondarily, when you go bullpenning, you pull those levers, some days guys just don't have it, okay? Right. And that happens.
Leone just didn't have it.
He didn't. But I understand the thought process of going to him because the guy was good for you all year. That was his first postseason experience with the Giants, and it didn't go well. And credit the Dodgers. They're a professional lineup that you can only suppress for so long. It was about time for some of these guys to bust through. Will Smith has been a thorn in their side all year, and Bellinger at one point was going to be a factor in this series. I'm not outraged. I don't like Littell. That's neither here nor there. At that point, the game was already pretty much sealed. The bats have to awaken. That is number one thing. The biggest gripe I have is not with the pitching changes. It's not with pinch hitting Gausman in the fifth. To me, it was the batting order in terms of having Darren Ruff lead off, which I know he's done once or twice this year. I want LaStella in the leadoff. I want a guy who's going to give me 5-6 pitch at-bats. Now, Ruff did have some deep at-bats where he fouled off a bunch, but he couldn't get on. He just couldn't get on against Urias. It's a tough at-bat. Donovan Solano, to me, is unplayable in this series in terms of offensive output. I want to see LaStella.
You got to do what you do to make it to this point. But you know,
Solano has been cold for weeks. Weeks.
He's been cold, but you got to play him. He's had a couple good at-bats.
He's not the same player he was last year.
He had a couple good at-bats
as a pinch hitter.
As a pinch hitter, no doubt.
Off the bench.
No doubt, but you're playing the percentages here. You're going to stick with what got you there. You won 107 games.
Look,
won 107 games. I'm not going to start coaching or questioning the coaching staff over Donovan Solano and Tommy LaStella. That didn't lose you the game.
No, it didn't.
Didn't lose you the game.
I'm just a big believer in a more natural leadoff hitter. That's the way I like to set my lineup up.
They haven't really had that all season.
Well, LaStella in the last 2 months since coming back, it's not about quick.
Right.
It's not about quick. He's just a professional hitter. The way he attacks at-bats and the way that he can hit those off-balance pitches, especially the ones that are away, Urias is going to try to keep you off-balanced. And they needed somebody who can go up there, and even though he struggles against lefties, the lefty-on-lefty matchup, that's one where I would override the data. But again, I'm not outraged. That's just my nitpicking. I would like to see him in there. In this game against Scherzer, I'll be interested to see what lineup they choose. Giants went all righties. That's what they went with. I think the only lefty in the lineup was Crawford, and that worked throughout the regular season. There are certain philosophies come playoff time that you do have to ditch. Guys got to make plays, and you got to grind out at-bats.
Look, I'm with the 925, though. I'm like the 925. Bringing in Leone in a higher leverage situation was a bad call by Kapler. Needed to play stuff for the bullpen. That, to me, was a safe situation. You had to keep the game at 2-1.
Who did you want to go to there? Because I would like to keep Doval, bullet.
You know what? I would have gone Doval.
Really?
I would have gone Duvall in that situation.
Okay.
People call me crazy.
Okay.
Top of the sixth inning. We saw him down in San Diego, pitch of the fifth, and I know he wasn't yet the ninth inning guy. Yeah. But in that situation, I'm saying I need to shut this down now. They cannot score again. And then you look, you score in the next inning, it's 2-2. Like, I got to shut it down right there. I can't let that game get out of hand. And that was a tough at-bat for Leone.
No, it was.
You go against Bellinger.
And he kept it high.
And
you
walk Taylor. Now people are going to say Angel Hernandez. I'm not bringing up Angel Hernandez.
Well,
I don't care. I'm not that guy to complain about balls. No, I'm not either.
But the reality is consistency of the strike zone. It is a frustrating thing for both sides. Gausman got K'd on an exact same location for an at-bat earlier in that inning. And then, obviously, they don't get that borderline strike. The only other argument that I would make, if I was to present it, because I'm okay with Leone, what are you going to go to? You're going to go to Tyler Rogers right there? You're going to go McGee right there?
I could.
With Bellinger on deck? I don't know. I'm asking out loud.
But Tyler Rogers has been really good against lefties this year.
No, he has. But
he's been really good against lefties.
He's also had moments against the Dodgers specifically where he served them up.
But he got a good outing
Can we all
Friday
agree?
night.
It's a tough spot for any pitcher to come into.
It is.
Leone or freaking vintage Mariano Rivera. You're coming in with runners on.
It felt like there was no momentum for the Giants lineup that game.
Totally agree.
Like the entire time,
totally
even though it was a close game, I'm sitting there and Gausman's having a pretty good outing, but they're down. It just didn't feel like there was any life in the lineup.
Urias had thrown 40 pitches through 2 innings. They were grinding at bats, but they had nothing to show for it.
They were.
So it was frustrating, and you knew he was going to right the ship at some point. I was thinking it was going to be a bullpen game for both teams because Gausman looked shaky too.
Yeah, but Gausman, I needed 6. I may have even let him face Chris Taylor at that point and said, screw it, face Chris Taylor.
Okay.
Maybe you get the double play ball and get out the inning there. If you're going to go Dominic Leone, I'd rather just, you know what? Let me see what Gausman's got. Let me see if you could give me 6.
Did it cross your mind even a little, and I know that everybody's going to think this is sacrilegious, putting Buster Posey at first base and putting Casale behind the dish for Gausman?
No, it didn't.
Okay.
It didn't.
Because it did cross my mind a little, and I know that sounds outlandish. Gausman and Casale had something going down the stretch.
Yeah, but you know what? These are the playoffs.
I know.
And you can't give away at-bats.
And he's a Hall of Fame catcher.
And you can't give away at-bats. You can't. Casale's been...
What's the percentage difference against
Darren Ruff
lefties?
gives you... He's more of a threat.
Not Ruff. Ruff was in left field.
Wilmer Flores. Ruff. I'm just saying in general, whoever plays first base, Wade, Ruff, Flores, they give me potential for better at-bats than Casale.
There was something that I found to be very interesting that you probably don't pick up unless you're at the ballpark. On multiple occasions, they had their defensive coach, whoever it was doing the outfield, I think it was Kai Correa, but I could be wrong. He's standing up on like a box or something in the dugout, and they're doing all these hand signals. Now, hand signals to your outfilders on where to position them is nothing new. You see this going back to the beginning of time. You'll hear coaches, hey, come in, go left, go right. They were pitch to pitch moving these guys. Chris Bryant and Darren Ruff. Darren, come closer to the line. Darren, come closer to the line. Come closer to the line. It was quite interesting to see how they were working the algorithms and working the spreadsheets in real time being at the stadium. First pitch of the game, Bonte. First pitch of the game. Gausman throws a strike. Buster throws it back to Gausman. And then Angel Hernandez decides, oh, no, throw me that ball back. I'm going to give you another one. And I turned to my brother and I said, oh, God, here we go. They lost rhythm. It was just like these weird omens.
Yeah.
It's not even Angel. It's just these weird omens where I'm like, come on, man. I just threw a strike with that
I was
ball.
watching Angel.
I'm a superstitious baseball player.
He was a first base on Friday night. And he was like stretching between innings. He's moving around. I'm like, man, Angel is something else,
There was someone behind us in our section who yelled, what are you doing with the ball, Angel?
Oh, after the first pitch?
After the first pitch.
See? I wasn't the only one.
That was weird. I didn't even peep that. I didn't even peep it.
This is like when you're playing, like there's certain things like you just get weird and superstitious about. And I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, one pitch in, and this dude's got to have the ball. And the way he did it, he could have exchanged it with Posey. He waited till it got to Gausman, right, Steven?
Here's my deal, though. When it comes to umpires and referees.
That's not the reason they lost. It's far from
exactly.
That's not the reason they lost.
When you gotta blame. Like refs make bad calls, and I'll call them out for that. I'll call out umpires for making bad calls, but that game didn't come down to Angel Hernandez.
No, the Dodgers executed with runners on base, and the Giants left guys on base. And Trey Turner made 2 ridiculous plays at second base to shut down innings, and then Mookie Betts made an unbelievable throw from right center on a base hit that Wilmer Flores had no business running on. He hosed him.
By the way, the NBA season is almost here. Get ready with the Ultimate Insider Season Preview 2021 NBA edition, brought to you by the Odyssey and Locked On Podcast Network. Go in depth with dedicated shows for every NBA team featuring local insights from Locked On and Odyssey insiders. Get team-by-team updates heading into the 2021 season. Whether your team is a contender, a lottery candidate, or a playoff hopeful, we've got the breakdown for you, featuring NBA insiders Chad Ford, Ryan McDonough, Brian Scalabrine, David Locke, and more, plus local analysis from around the NBA. Get ready for the NBA season with the Ultimate Insider Season Preview 2021. Hear from former NBA executives, respected journalists, and local experts as they break down every team from throughout the league, from contenders to pretenders. It's all on the Odyssey app. And here's what's coming up with the game, brought to you by the California Department of Housing and Community Development. More Giants talk. We'll get back into the 49ers because I got some Brandon Aiyuk numbers for everybody. 8 catches, 90 yards on 15 targets this season. I'll let you know what he did last year and why I'm going to debunk all this propaganda going on with Brandon Aiyuk coming up here. Also, your last thoughts, final thoughts here in the Morning Roast about Trey Lance and his starting debut for the 49ers. And plus, Mark Willard will join the show as we trot out this new lineup today. Mark Willard and Dan Dibley making their debut together today from 9 to 12 right here on 95.7 The Game.
Has COVID-19 made it hard to pay your rent or utilities? Are you worried about eviction?
O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up,
good night,
there's a lot of meetups, eat-ups, and hurry-ups. So come to Shell and get 3 things done at once. Fill up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus to help keep your engine running like new. Save up with the Fuel Rewards program and never pay full price for gas again. And snack up with in-store rewards to save even more at the pump. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell and engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
It takes 2 vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Oh, boy, B.
Kind of thrown off here with this segment. Because, you know, at 8:25, let's bring the listener and bring our roasters behind the scenes here, behind the curtain. Let's peel it back. Usually we come in at 8:25. We either come in with no music, or we come in with straight music, and we just go. We just go. And considering this is our last segment, I'm not used to this. We used to go until 10 o'clock. Instead, we got 27 minutes left. That's it to get off these Niner takes. And I haven't heard from our hard hitters yet. Our hard-hitting callers.
Well, they wake up late.
I know they used to call. I just got to get accustomed to this, man. This is weird. This is Mark Willard and Dibs debuts at 9 a.m. today here on 95.7 The Game. Then, of course, Steiny and Goof from 12 to 3. Damon Bruce and Ray Ratto from 3 to 6. Then Matt Kolsky will take it from 6 to 10 p.m. here as we unveil our new lineup today at 95.7 The Game. Look, we're just talking Giants Game 3. Alex Wood versus Max Scherzer, 6:37 first pitch. Series evened at 1 game apiece. But the Niners yesterday lose their 3rd straight game, and they lose to the Cardinals 17-10 as Trey Lance made his starting debut. What did you think? 15-29, 16 carries, 89 yards, threw for 192 and 1 interception. Made some good plays, threw some bad passes. What did you think? But real quick, I got something from Leo Luna on Twitter. Boy, Leo Luna on Twitter broke this one down. And I love this. Last season, we saw Brandon Aiyuk, Leo Luna writes, in a 6-game stretch that was special. Aiyuk averaged 11.5 targets, 7.5 catches, and 94.7 yards per game. In total, in that 6-game stretch, 69 targets, 45 catches, 568 yards, and 4 touchdowns. This season, Aiyuk has the lowest targets, receptions, yards, and TDs than any 5-game stretch in his career. We already cited the numbers. 8 catches, 90 yards, 15 targets. So there's just propaganda that I started to hear over the last week. And I sat and listened, and I shut my mouth.
That's a first.
Yeah, it is a first. But I'm not shutting it no more. No. This narrative that Brandon Aiyuk was maybe those numbers were inflated, or maybe he's not as good as we all thought he was, and maybe he was just getting those numbers because nobody else was around and Debo was hurt. No. This guy's a special talent. And he's a special talent that needs a ball in his hands. And just one of the few times he got the ball in his hands yesterday as a wide receiver, because as a punt returner, I don't want to see it anymore. He's got his helmet ripped off like 5 times already in 2 weeks. All right, don't want to see it no more. Don't want to see it. But as a receiver, you see him on a 2nd and 25 play, catch a pass, make a man miss, make some plays happen.
Turn upfield.
Dude, he makes plays happen with the ball in his hands. Again, last year, 6-game stretch, 11.5 targets per game, according to Leo Luna, 7.5 catches, 95 yards per game. 45 catches, 568 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Yet this guy through 5 games has 8 catches, 90 yards, and 15 targets. Is it on the quarterback? Is it on the head coach? I don't give a damn who it's on. You need to get number 11 the football. He's a good player. And for some reason, he's been put in his box in quote-unquote a doghouse, and now he can't get targets. What is going on? Mohamed Sanu and Travis Benjamin, really?
Well, on a day where George Kittle's not there, on a day when Debo's getting double teamed, you would think that would open things up for Brandon Aiyuk. I just don't understand what happened to all the jet sweep action with him, because they did it with Debo the year that he was a rookie. They obviously did it again last year with Debo, but Aiyuk also got a lot of those jet sweeps and got opportunities to catch smoke screens and just be prioritized in the offense. Right now, you're looking for people who could step up and make plays. Look, is it a personality thing? Is it a hard-working thing? Is it an effort level thing? Is it he's just not that good? I don't know. But when you waste a first-round pick on someone and you select someone with a first-round pick, you expect that person to be put in a situation to succeed. Now, that doesn't exonerate the player, because there might be things that we don't know about Bonte. But, man, they need guys to step up and make plays.
As I turn my mic on, that's a flag on me. Penalty,
That's
whatever.
all right, Mike McGlinchey.
Yes, seriously. That was a Mike McGlinchey play. Dun, rim shot. I don't care what's going on, whether the kid has a bad attitude or whether he's not practicing hard or if the coach doesn't like him. Get this kid. This is the big leagues, man. This is pro football, dude. You got to tell Randy Moss because he had a bad attitude, we're not going to throw you the ball? We're not going to throw you the ball because you have a bad attitude? Imagine saying that to Randy Moss. Imagine doing that to Terrell Owens. Now, I'm not saying Brandon Aiyuk is on that level yet, but he is a first-round pick. You spent high draft capital for this guy. You traded up back into the first round to get this guy out of Arizona State. And you can't get this guy the ball? Mohamed Sanu had 16 targets this year. Brandon Aiyuk, 15. It's 2021. Mohamed Sanu, 16 targets and 10 catches. And yet Brandon Aiyuk sitting here going into the bye week with 8 catches and 90 yards and a touchdown. That just some things just don't make sense to me.
Look,
I don't care what I don't care what the excuse is.
I'm not making excuses. What I'm saying
ball.
is, I was encouraged yesterday because I see a very young team. Debo's in his 3rd year. Aiyuk's in his 2nd year. Elijah Mitchell's a rookie. Trey Sermon is a rookie, but even though he only got like a couple snaps. And then Trey Lance is a rookie. Bonte, they got a lot of young players on this offense. The offense is going through a learning curve right now. Now, if they go back to Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't have to agree with it. That's what they want to do. Fine. I don't know. I don't understand how that makes you a better football team, because I don't think he's a better quarterback right now. I think he just checks down quicker. But on a game like yesterday, you weren't going to run the ball against Arizona without Trey Lance being inserted in there.
Nope.
So I'm at the spot now where you just got to play all the young guys and let them grow and develop. Now, the other question I have, boy, is Banks that bad? I mean, is he that bad to where Brunskill gets to play? No doubt about it, getting manhandled every single week? Because that's frustrating. And I get he's young too. I believe me, I get that. But man, like, is anybody ready to play? They're not ready yet. Like, is anybody ready to play?
It's like we're running to college out here. This is redshirt guys in the pros. I mean, hey, Trip Bulky special. Hey, we're going to just redshirt this year. Don't even worry about contributing. Imagine that. Imagine that.
I don't know.
Imagine that.
When you hear that some of the broadcast team is saying, hey, they're going to probably start Jimmy Garoppolo coming out of this bye week, but they'll have a quick hook, because that's the word on the street from what Tim Ryan's saying.
And that's a joke.
And what do you think of that?
If you're going to have a quick hook with Jimmy Garoppolo, why play the damn guy? This is what I'm talking about again. The propaganda that's coming from Santa Clara right now. And they could all be pissed off at me down there at 4949 Eddie DeButterlow Way. I don't give a damn. Turn the station if you don't like what I'm saying about Kyle Shanahan. I'm dead serious. People need to be held accountable for this. Brandon Aiyuk, 15 targets. Jimmy Garoppolo, you know what? He's our quarterback. But if he struggles early, we're gonna don't go back to Jimmy. What's the point of honestly, Shasky?
Yeah.
And our roasters here, 888-957-9570. We'll go out to the calls and rat-a-tat-tat them. Again, we're only going until 9 o'clock.
They're going
from here
with
on
Jimmy.
out.
This is what they're going to say.
Why?
Because old people think that that's the way quarterbacking is, even though all the young players, Herbert, Allen, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, they're all playing an athletic game of football from the quarterback position. All of them. Every single one of them. Every one of them. Statue quarterbacks don't exist. Tom Brady's the outlier. There are none. They're all playing the brand that Trey Lance is trying to play. They're saying, look at the record with Jimmy Garoppolo. The record is 5-5 in 2020 and 2021. He has 12 touchdowns, and he has 12 turnovers. Okay,
You know.
he's 5-5 with 12-12.
Dude.
He is a mediocre player. So if you want to just win a couple games and continue to be mediocre this year, now you are stunting the development of the kid that you moved heaven and earth to go get. Start the process now. And the reality is, they were in that game yesterday.
They should have won that football game.
Should have won that game. I don't think you could say that with Jimmy Garoppolo because the last time we saw Jimmy Garoppolo, this offense was actually less effective than what it was yesterday. They ran the ball worse with Jimmy Garoppolo last time he played than what we saw yesterday. And it wasn't the kid that let them down.
No.
The kid made plays. Again, he only throws rockets. He got balls tipped. Brunskill got blown up on 3 of those tip passes, and he threw 6 ridiculously hard touch passes. Not rockets, touch passes. He threw 1 interceptable pass yesterday, and he moved the sticks. He crossed the 50, 8 out of 9 possessions. They moved the ball. Now, did they score? No, they did not. That's because the veterans on this team, Trent Williams, Mack, McGlinchey, Dwelly, Mohamed Sanu,
Debo Samuel
all
dropped
let
the
them
pass.
down. Let them down.
Debo Samuel dropped the pass on first and goal.
25 on 4 consecutive series.
Hey, look, Tyler Miller on YouTube. What's up, Tyler Miller? Thank you for listening and watching on YouTube. Everybody on YouTube and Twitch brought to you by Xfinity. We appreciate you guys. You have no idea how much we appreciate you guys viewing this show. But Tyler Miller's right. You go back to Jimmy Garoppolo. This is what Tyler Miller said. You go back to Jimmy G, and I'll be on full Warriors mode the rest of the way. You go back to Jimmy Garoppolo? Yeah.
Well,
okay, you see what happens. Like, you can't. Just seriously, Shasky, think about that. You go back to Jimmy Garoppolo, now you're going to alienate a lot of this fan base.
Well, I think you're going to alienate some of the guys on
and a lot
offense.
of people just got to stop going to the games.
Trent Williams, did you hear one of the leaders on this team, Trent Williams?
Yes, I did.
The Trent Williams had nothing but glowing praise for Trey Lance. He's raw. Okay, he's got a lot to learn. The decision of when to run, when to throw, getting down, all those things need to be ironed out.
How about Dante Whitner yesterday on the postgame show?
I love Dante Whitner. What did Hitman say?
The defensive line started to get around him. He's very comfortable maneuvering. He put so much stress on that defense today. Kyle Shanahan has to be excited about the way that he was able to pull the ball down and get the yards with his legs. If Jimmy Garoppolo was in that pocket tonight against that front four, he would have stood in there like a sitting duck and missed sacked about 5 or 6 times. Trey Lance put a lot of pressure on the defense, going for it on 4th down, not being able to execute on those fourth downs cost him this game. But moving forward with the controlled chaos, I'm all with it. I understand playing defensive back, how much pressure it really puts on you when he escapes the pocket and you have these weapons running all around.
That was on NBC Sports Bay Area post-game show. Laura Britt, Dante Whitner, Takeo Spikes, and of course Joe Staley. Dante Whitner's all in on Trey Lance. What about Joe Staley?
Yeah, what did he say? There were two guys played at an all-pro level and played for this organization. Joe Staley was in the locker room and has a dear friendship with Jimmy Garoppolo. What did he say?
I was really impressed with the way Trey played today. Outside of that first drive interception, I thought he settled in really, really well as the game went on. He was on point and on target on a lot of those throws, especially downfield. And coming in the game, we said that they need to get the run game going, and they got exactly that. For me, it was just missed opportunities, complimentary football, drops in the first half, penalties in the second half, missed 4th down conversions that really put them behind the 8 ball because they, like you said, moved the ball down the field. And I think Trey adds an element. This is a base run plan for him right now. Kyle's going to continue to develop and take play action shots, different kind of motions. This is layers to what Kyle wants to do with Trey. And I think, there's a decision because he's come out and said, time and again, Jimmy's our starter. Jimmy's our starter. I think with the way Trey performed today, the ability of him to be able to move the ball down the field, a lot to be excited about.
I saw 6 dimes, as in throws into tight windows that NFL quarterbacks have to make with people staring you down the barrel of the gun, and only 3 bad passes, and one of them was intercepted. And by bad passes, one of them, I believe, after hearing him at the post, he threw away on purpose. He threw it high and wide on purpose because he was going to be in a cloud of smoke, and he had nowhere to go, and he was just trying to get rid of it. The kid played yesterday. I know it looks ugly at times, but if that's as bad as it's going to look for a first start, the Niners got something here.
Yeah,
I'm encouraged.
Yeah, you can't go back to Jimmy. Let's go to the lines here. 888-957-9570. Lines are lit, and it is a Monster Monday here on 95.7 The Game. And today's show is always about the callers. It's always about the roasters on the text line, YouTube, Twitch, brought to you by Xfinity. You don't want to hear from us. We gave our takes. I want to hear from the listeners here. So let's start off with Jay in San Jose. Jay in San Jose, you're on the roast here on 95.7 The Game.
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
Good.
So, Trey
Trey balled out. I mean, to me, Trey played.
Thank you.
As good as a game as a rookie could play, given that situation, given minus his weapons. But to me, the big indictment yesterday was the GM, John Lynch. If you look at what Phoenix did, they had DeAndre Hopkins, trade, A.J. Green, free agent, Ronald Moore, draft, Christian Kirk, draft, James Conner, free agent. They're getting the players on the outside to make plays and help his team.
Great point.
John Lynch hasn't picked up anybody.
Yeah.
I just don't get how we go into every season with the same guys, and you get guys like Travis Benjamin, Mohamed Sanu. These dudes aren't going to be the dudes that put you over top.
Nope.
It's just not going to work.
It's a great point, and I'd add Rodney Hudson to that, the center who got hurt in that game. And then I look conversely and I say, how much money is spent on D Ford? And he's playing like 8, 9, 10 snaps.
I didn't even hear from D4 yesterday. Didn't even hear from D4. Mo in West Oakland.
Great
Mo,
point. It's a
Mo,
great
you're on
point.
the roast here on 95.7 The Game.
Man, I'm going to try to make it fast. Look, if we're going to keep the crown on Shanahan, the Emperor must realize he's walking around nude. Okay? The dude don't really know what he's doing to start the show. But look, I tried to do my inner Shasky. I got some numbers up. Look, 66 for Patrick Mahomes. Deshaun Watson, 87% passer rating. Kyler Murray had a 32, but he had 300-something yards, 2 TDs. Trey Lance come in with 59% passer rating, 192 on yards, plus 83 running. Man, that's a good game.
Thank you.
That's a good game. The kid just got to calm down just a little bit. Most of his picks will probably be over the top. And watch this, guys. He applies the outside game. You need that zip to get the ball to the outside. So if he does miss the target, the ball is going out of bounds.
No doubt.
Y'all have a good day.
You too, Mo and West Oakland.
Really
You're
good
absolutely.
call.
And how fun was it yesterday, folks?
Oh, my God.
To see a quarterback actually throw outside the hash marks.
It was great.
I haven't seen that in a while. He's throwing outside the hash marks, Trey Lance, and he's not afraid to throw it outside the hash marks. He's gunning it like he is Josh Allen, like he is Mahomes.
How about the scramble right, steps up, you think he's going to run, and he rifles one to Debo that only Debo can play. That was Bolden Cap. That's what that
great.
reminded me of.
That was a great play.
There was
another one. There was another one in the second quarter.
Sick.
It's going to be third quarter, where he scrambles and he moves up in the pocket.
Yes.
And the linebacker's like, oh no, Trey's about to scramble, and he just lost it over to Debo Samuel for a big time game. And Debo Samuel tried to trunk somebody on the sideline to let him know that he was there. And that was a great play.
He hit Debo on that slant, and Debo got, he turned his head.
He dropped it.
Yeah.
He dropped it. Look, even with Trey Lance starting at quarterback, I don't think the playoffs are out the question anymore.
No, they're not.
Like Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance at this point. Give me a break. Well, and Trey Lance gives his team more opportunity to move the football, man.
He's already more accurate than Lamar Jackson. People watch how they win games with Baltimore.
Yeah.
Ball control.
Yep.
They're going to run the ball down your throat, and the kid's going to be the best athlete on the field. I know we have this thing in our head. To play quarterback, it has to look like this. No, it doesn't. Look at what was going on around the league. Every one of these guys, they run around, and they can offset whatever their flaws are right now as a passer with their legs. And then the arm will show up, the brain will show up, the refinement, all that will come along. You can still make a lot of plays with your legs.
Kevin Fontana on YouTube.
What's
How
he
about
saying?
Samson Ebukam?
Oh.
Has he done anything yet?
No.
I didn't even know he played.
He was running.
I don't even know. I don't even remember him yesterday.
He was chasing defenders all day.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah. I thought Fred Warner played his you-know-what off.
Bosa was great.
Alshire did too.
Eric Armstead. By the way, we need to talk about the safety that should have been called.
Back-to-back plays.
Should have been a safety. Should have been a safety. And for some reason, it wasn't a safety. And I think plays like that, I don't think every holding call should be reviewable. But if it's a scoring play and there's points on the board and there's points to be had, that's got to be reviewable from upstairs to say, you know what, hold on, let's take another look at that. Let's see if that hold did occur in the end zone. If not, because if it did, the Niners would have got 2 points and the football, and it would have been a 10-2 game.
Well, and there's no doubt about it. All I keep seeing is, well, the kid's just taking hits. Of course he's taking hits. It's his first ever game against a team that wants to take his head off. Yep. He doesn't know how to slide. He has no idea what he's doing. Lamar Jackson's in year 5. He still hasn't figured it out.
No doubt.
Still hasn't figured it out.
It happens, but this guy,
he'll learn.
He shows
he'll
heart.
learn.
He shows a lot of heart.
And that's the other thing. His competitive fire, He won over so many Niner fans.
Let's go to Danker in the city. Danker, a lot of people want to chime in here. We got about 9 minutes left on the morning roast. New hours here, 6 to 9. We get an hour to ourselves here. No more 10 o'clock for us. We're getting off at 9 o'clock.
Wasn't
Danker
it
in the
great
city.
to not see checkdowns on 1st and 15?
Dude, how about this?
God.
Yards per attempt. Trey Lance over 10 yards per attempt.
What's Jimmy at, like 6'1"?
6'5" or something like that, if that. I mean, it was
that's almost twice as much.
Dude, Tanker the city. Tanker.
Gentlemen, it's a bright day to the new era. But to me, the other caller nailed it. It comes back to the GM. And to me, it's very scary when our GM is a former Hall of Fame safety and we can't get a DB core going. And to me, the man who we need a guy who's logistical, who understands the game, and understands how a mobile quarterback works.
The secondary wasn't the problem yesterday. The secondary wasn't the problem yesterday, and the GM is Kyle Shanahan. It's not John Lynch. Let's put it. Come on.
That's my point. We need the accountability. So Shanahan realizes you don't have your whole career to make McGlinchey a thing. He needs to understand it's now. These other guys, Bosa's could get hurt again.
I thought he broke his arm in that.
Now he needs accountability. It goes back to someone who gets respected. Lynch is a bobblehead. We need.
I'm not going that far. I'm not going that far.
You know what? I need to hear from Juice. I need to hear from Juice in Fremont.
What's
Juice
up,
in Fremont. Good morning, man.
You know what? I'm going to say something, man, because I can remember at a time when I used to call this show when Bonte was in the mid show and Joe was in the evening show, and I was the same guy. I was the same guy that called out this regime, right? A few weeks ago, remember when they were 2-0? And what did I say? And I said, what's going to happen when they play against the opponents in their own division?
Yep.
Right? Let me throw this out. There's a great quote from the Bill Walsh. He said, leaders are paid to make a decision. The difference between offering an opinion and making a decision is the difference between working for the leader and being a freaking leader. The last 5 years under this regime, what has happened? This team looks like the Jacksonville Jaguars of the West. Now, let me say this. Let me throw this out there and let everybody listen to what I'm saying. If I have car problems and I go to a specialist, I expect that the issue of my car should be fixed. But if I go to the same specialist for the last 5 years and my car gets worse and worse, whose fault is it? Is it me or is it the specialist? So what do? We change the better specialist to solve the issue. Kyle Shanahan can't win. It's no different when the Warriors had Mark Jackson. They need to find their Steve Kerr. And I'm going to throw this last out. This famous quote from the character Matt Damon when he played in that movie, The Rounders. If you come to the poker table and you can't find that sucker, then that means that sucker is you. That's how I feel about this regime. And if some of you all, Niner fans, don't like it, then that means you're not part for a change. Peace, ho.
Juice just bringing it. No pulp in that call.
The Jaguars of the West, man. You got to get the Juice. I'm glad he called in before 9 o'clock because Juice usually doesn't get up till about 9:15. He usually calls around 9 o'clock, though I know he gets up.
Are we going to get a stipend?
For what?
Just setting up the 9 o'clock hour for Willard and Dibbs to just automatic success.
I mean, look at the lines here, lit. I got to get to Nick and Berkeley, man.
Come on, Nick.
I got to get to Nick and Berkeley.
They're going to come in rolling with calls.
Hot.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, first of all, man, we're not even close to the Jacksonville Jaguars of the West, man. Let me tell you something, man. First of all, baby.
Yeah, they got too many good players.
Second of all, let me tell you this. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Shanahan. He's like outfoxing himself because, like, if you're going Lombardi left and we're running off tackles and we're steadily getting gains, why do you all of a sudden just switch up and go up the middle? Keep gassing them the same play over and over if they can't stop it until they stop it. Like when Little Meggett was running down our throat when we lost to the Giants in the playoffs and Bill Parcells was killing me.
Yep,
he had Little Meggett going right, and O.J. Anderson going right up the middle all day long.
Dave Meggett had a big game.
Man, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, Shanahan needs to get a coordinator and up in the booth, or he needs to do something because he needs to facilitate and delegate like a head coach because we have too many mistakes. Like if he's so focused on the offense, well, who's doing the offensive line then? Like we're an undisciplined team. We've been undisciplined with bad special teams, but the good news is that we're in the same boat as the Chiefs, and we haven't even put one solid game together. It's always been some type of dysfunction going on within the game itself. But if we can just get everything dialed in for one good game, man, this team will be dangerous.
No doubt about that. Let's go to Bay Rob real quick. Finish us all, Bay Rob.
What's up, Bay Rob?
Bay Rob, what's happening with you?
What's up, guys? Top of the morning, guys. I was satisfied with the game. We're going to have to take our bumps and bruises. We saying Shanahan. We saying this. Shanahan got to figure it out, too. Now he got a new quarterback. He know what Trey could do, but he got a new quarterback. And then we keep getting hurt on certain on other ends. So everything ain't been falling our way. But we go get it together, and I'm very happy. It's a different type of atmosphere when Trey is out there in a different type of threat. So we gonna be all right. I ain't worried about Shanahan. I ain't worried about Lynch. We gonna be all right. But McGlinchey and McGlinchey, he got to get it together, man.
There's no doubt, Bay Rob.
He's making $10 million next year.
Yeah, he's a good man. He's got Notre Dame degree, $10 million coming in the bank. Former first-round pick.
What I tell you?
Got to be better.
What I tell you they should have done before exercising that 5th-year option.
Got to be better.
I would have gave him a 2 for 10.
Well, I wouldn't even give him 2. Just explore the new option. That right tackle. You're listening on the 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM, and AC1 San Francisco and Odyssey Station. Look, we've got a new lineup today. Right? We're off the air. Boss man said, I can't handle you guys from 6 to 10, so I'm slashing the hour. We took a reduced role here, Shasky. A reduced role.
We're leaving a little meat on the bone.
We
and
are.
I'm actually okay with that.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You usually don't leave meat on the bone.
No, I do not.
From 6 to 9 with me, you just rat-a-tat-tat everything. And comes back to me. It's like, well, I guess we just go to a caller. There's no point of adding anything to what you said.
No, I like to
things.
Go straight to the blue cheese and ranch simultaneously.
You're a ball hog. Yeah. So you're Russell Westbrook of the show, which is cool. Yeah. You're an MVP. But, no rings.
Do I show promise like Trey Lance?
You do show a little promise like Trey Lance. We got a new lineup today, though. From 6 to 9, we're going to be here. Langford, of course, from 5 to 6. Mark Willard and Dan Dibley will debut their news show today from 9 to 12. Then we got Steiny and Goo from 12 to 3. Damon and Rattle from 3 to 6. And then Matt Kolsky from 6 to 10. And Willard is here with the fatigue camo Callaway hat right now, ready to go.
Lucky hat.
Oh.
Lucky hat. I took one of my best friends behind the woodshed at Lake Tahoe Golf Course a couple of months ago, and what we do is it's a head-to-head matchup, and the loser has to go buy the winner a hat.
Oh.
And so this is not a Callaway hat.
I like that.
This is a winner's hat.
It's a winner's hat.
There you go.
Because today is win day.
It is win day for the Giants.
Win day, okay?
It is win. Are you a little concerned about Alex Wood? He hasn't been good against the Dodgers this year.
I don't get, I know everybody's got their numbers. The Giants can't hit Max Scherzer. Most people can't hit Max Scherzer. Alex Wood, the Dodgers have hit him really good. It's baseball. This is one night. I don't even remember what the circumstances were of how Alex was pitching, how was his health when he faced the Dodgers much earlier this year. The Giants have faced situations like this all year long, and it's funny to me. Like, you have the Friday night exulting and just absolute overjoy, and the very next day they lose one baseball game, and it's like, see, I told you they couldn't do it. And that's been their cadence all year long. People still don't have full buy-in, which is odd to me. Are they favored to win tonight? Of course not on a pitching matchup. But I don't know. I mean, Scherzer, I heard you guys talking about it. He hasn't been very good the last 3 outings. I don't know how it's going to go. Yeah, they can win this game. Of course they can win this game. Am I concerned? Yeah, it's a playoff game against the Dodgers. So by definition, I'm concerned.
How quickly would you have Alex Wood or have the bullpen warming up for Wood? Because second time around the lineup, the on-base percentage goes up. Third time around the lineup, it gets ugly. But you look at the numbers, and we know his former team, and it feels like the Dodgers with Mookie and Trey Turner, they're starting to go. But then Bellinger and Chris Taylor now got a newfound confidence here. Who would you warm up, first of all, and how quick of a hook would you give Alex Wood tonight?
So not Disco. I want Disco tomorrow night.
So you want him for Game 4?
I want Disco for Game 4.
Possible 5.
I do not want Disco out of the bullpen. They've got guys who are stretched out who can play that
Alvarez.
role. Harleen Garcia can go do 2 or 3 innings if need be. They're fine. But I'd be pretty quick. Like, you're now moving to the back half of a short series. I think everybody's going to be quick. I think the Dodgers will be quick with Max too. Like, you cannot wait around and let somebody get a 4-run lead on you.
So I was sitting in club level. I looked down. Mark's there with his boys. It was awesome to see, like a great dad. And it's tough because when you're at home watching it, it probably plays different. I thought Trey Turner's defense was so underrated in this game. There were multiple spots where they're obviously shifting, but he's just making incredible plays that zapped momentum. And clearly the Wilmer Flores trying to go second to third on that hit and Mookie with that throw, that to me was like, it was the gut punch that really did them in. And I'm not mad at Littell. I'm not even that mad at Leone. Like, at some point, guy's going to come through. It felt like the Giants had opportunities early to shake Urias. He rounded into form, some great defensive plays, and they just left too much on the table.
Tell me this, man. When you got to that game that night, be honest. Before it started, did you think they were going to win?
No, I thought it was an up-in-the-air game.
This wasn't a sweep. This wasn't going to be a sweep either way.
They went to 162, Mark.
Right.
These two teams were so evenly matched. Every single game, we could go, oh, my God, what about Tauchman? What about this? What about that? Like, I did not think this was going to be easy. And the crowd was ready.
Yeah,
they just didn't give him anything to really celebrate.
Urias coming through with that hit. It was kind of a battle.
That was a gut punch.
A pitcher squaring up Gosman like that. That was a gut punch. Real quick, I was going to ask Mark about his thoughts about Trey Lance.
Oh, before you get to that,
go ahead.
I wanted to see La Stella in the game. To me, I know that the numbers, like, I get the numbers and I get it, the data all year. That's the only one over Leone, over all these. I just want to see La Stella play over Solano. I think form matters, and I don't think Solano's in form right now.
I heard you guys talking about this on the way in, and with all love, I think you are risking becoming the next Avery Johnson with the way you are approaching this playoff game. And what I mean by that is you do not take the 1 seed and then get to the playoffs and do something different.
Exactly what I said, Mark.
You did all year.
Exactly what I said.
100%
it's
was
one little move.
No, you don't switch things up.
I don't like it.
You don't panic.
How many games did Ruff bat lead off this year?
They didn't start doing that until about 4 weeks ago.
I think 3.
Yeah.
September. I think 3 all year.
But that guy,
he had good at bats.
Get as many at bats as you can.
I'm with you on that.
Right, like pound for pound, he's been their best hitter in terms of production. So I had no issue with it. I think Solano he's had some big hits lately.
Off the bench.
He knocked in the only run.
Look, I'm not denying it. I'm just saying I like a table setter, even though Ruff fouled off 8,000 pitches in the first 2 at-bats.
You're going to get it tonight. I don't know the lineup, but I'm pretty sure time.
I know, I'm a weirdo. I'm a traditionalist on just the leadoff guy.
They haven't been traditional all year with the leadoff spot.
Believe me, I understand that.
He's freaking out here. Calm down.
I like La Stella.
Calm down. You're already blowing it, man.
They got this.
I like my
I already like Mark already, man.
Ask him about
Mark, come in earlier next time, 8:30. This guy's freaking out here.
I don't know. 5 days a week, I might disagree with you at some point.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. Maybe we'll disagree here. Maybe we'll disagree here. You see my Twitter page. A lot of people disagree with me every day.
Actually, I do. I do disagree with you a little bit on this. Here's my thought. I think you can make a case for Jimmy. I think you can make a case for Trey. Here's what I want to say to the Trey people, and I know, Bonte, you're a Trey person. You go Trey now, you need to understand what you are saying. You are not just saying we should start Trey Lance. You are saying that's a wrap for this season.
Jimmy's a wrap for this season. He's 5-5 in his last 2 years. Yeah, he is. He has 12 turnovers, 12 touchdowns. He's not the same. That's facts. Those are facts.
The facts are the last time he played with a defense like this, he went to the Super Bowl.
This isn't the same second.
I didn't say that, but
defense playing well, though.
He's going to take you farther than Trey Lance this year.
One game?
He is going to take you. If you still care about the 49ers trying to make the playoffs this year.
See, I disagree.
I told you that was a perception.
I think Trey gives you an equal, if not better, chance of making the playoffs because you're accounting for Jimmy will stay the same, frozen in carbonite Han Solo. Trey can only get better. Like, he literally cannot get any worse than what we saw yesterday. The kid by week 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is going to be exponentially better.
I give you stats all day long about what rookie quarterbacks do in the NFL, and they do not. They do not at this age.
Lamar Jackson, who took the Baltimore Ravens to the playoffs his rookie year?
This is spicy.
I didn't say that it never happened.
I mean, A running quarterback who couldn't throw?
Giving a rookie quarterback a 2-3 record without his receivers. No. You're giving up on this year if you want to go with Trey Lance right now.
Mark Willard, Dan Dibley coming up here. Going to be an explosive
staying with
show.
Jimmy gives up on the year.
That's it for us, Shasky. We're off now.
Yeah, let's go.
We're off.
Yeah,
We're going
you
to be
don't
asleep
need
by
this
10
energy
o'clock.
anymore. Go home.
Go home.
Go
Mark
home.
Willard, have a great, fun show.
Thanks,
Don't go
boys.
anywhere, folks. Mark Willard, Dan Dibley coming up right here on 95.7 The Game.
Their longtime